He's done it, folks. The legacy of the Robinson brothers grows today.
Adam Ham is a 4-time Elite Series champion.
Mr. Niklas Antala.
Feeling like a bad boy right now. He's got a couple of cowboy hats and a Gibson guitar.
Gannonberg.
He's your champion. 3 straight years with a major title win. Man, oh man. Story of the Cascade Challenge, this man right here.
Anthony Barella!
Shanks for Anthony and for Gannon.
AB, call it 20 feet. No.
What a nightmare final hole. Back-to-back Elite Series wins.
There you go.
Oh, whoa, yes. Calvin, it's on you. You can get the monkey off the back with the biggest putt of your life.
Bang. For the win, Calvin Heimberg.
On the stripe.
Oh, yes. This is the beginning of an era of world titles for this young man. It's only 2025, but perhaps the man of the decade, Gannonberg.
What a shot!
What a shot! The GOAT is back on top.
The Disc Golf Pro Tour playoffs continue as our competitors arrive at the #1 rated course in America. The beloved Maple Hill sets the stage for our final playoff event of the season. Today, we begin the MVP Open by OTB. Let's get right into the action. We've got Nathan Queen throwing his 3rd shot on hole number 18. Sets up well with the lefty backhand onto the island green. And he would convert an early leader at 7 under for Nathan Queen. Rasmus Salkaripi, going after it on the 15th. They'll have that putt to become a co-leader. Trying to get to 7 under. The wet chains. It slides out. Not quite enough. He thought he had it. He'll head over to the 16th. Making it look so easy. Gets all the way out. He'll have a putt for birdie. Seven unders out on top, and the finish are doing some work out here on a dreary, wet, rainy September afternoon. Welcome in, everyone. Terry Miller joined alongside Nate Sexton, a major champion, along with 3-time world champion in Nate Doss. It's wet, it's crazy out there, but this is Maple Hill, the #1 rated course in America. Doss, you've been saying it for a while now. This is a special place for a lot of reasons, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Just the stadium that is this course. This is Tom Southwick's backyard and has been in the family for well over 100 years. They turned a Christmas tree farm into one of the most elite and one of the most memorable courses that we've ever seen in this country and around the world. So I'm always excited for the MVP Open regardless of the weather.
And it also then brings crazy storylines and different winners, doesn't it, Sexton?
Absolutely. It's shown a great track record of giving us some unexpected names. Every single year we've got different players charging. Not to say that our favorites haven't ever won in the past, but it's woods golf. So you're going to get some interesting things. You got to be on your game all 4 rounds. You got to battle through some adversity. Looking at some of our recent winners, James Proctor with this huge putt from the drop zone, do or die, and he won it right there.
Crazy to see it here as a flashback from a year ago and still getting goosebumps just by watching it. What a moment in our disc golf history. And James claimed the title last year, and when we look back, we've even had some chase card champions the 2 years prior to Proctor. Matty O does it off the chase card. Year before that, Simon Lizotte. Adam Hammis has won this, and back in 2020, Paul Macbeth. So all those different names over the last 5 years. Who will be crowned champion this year? We're going to find out in a couple days. Previous champion, Adam Hammis, looking at a birdie on hole 1, and that's how he'll get his round started. Rasmus on the 16th. We saw the drive push off to this left side. Actually hit a tree, kick left. Does he have the putt? Not quite. Ezra Robinson, very similar distance to what we just saw from Adam Hammis.
Man, I'm just thinking about watching Nathan Queen as well as Rasmus. Those guys are trying to get in through the wild card system, as they're even a second play. A win would get them in, but a second place wouldn't get them into the Tour Championship.
And we'll see that we're going to be taking 28 players automatically that will qualify for the championship. And then we have wild cards, as you were just referencing. The top 4 MPO players that are not already qualified will compete at the Tour Championship based on their play this weekend at this last event. And as we were just saying, the DGPT winners are automatically in if they haven't qualified from any other method that may apply to the likes of Ben Calloway or Maury Villman. You're trying to get into that top 28. You want to secure it, not leave it up to any chance. Just punch that ticket. And we're looking at our projected DGPT world standings, and right now, as they're jumping moment by moment, hole by hole, you see Mason Ford, Andrew Presnell, Eagle McMahon, Matt Oram, Robert Burridge, all of them bouncing around that 28th spot. McMahon not off to a great round so far, as he's sitting 1 over through 6.
We're going to be checking in with that standings graphic a lot this week, and it's going to be jumping around like crazy. So it'll be a fun thing to keep our eye on. Who's going to be in that position? Who's going to be on the outside looking in?
Yeah, excited to see how it's going to play out. The top 28 are making it in. Wild cards in play. Lots of action here, and I think we're going to be getting out there to take some of it in here in just a moment. But Ricky Wysocki was a topic of conversation throughout these last few days. Not only did we see him struggle at the GMC, but then he made a post also in the last few days talking about his ankle, and he said it was going to be a game-time decision. We see Ricky out on the course. That means Wysocki's ready to go, and he's at his tee on time. That's a good start. We'll see him when we come back.
You're looking at a work of art. No, it's not the Mona Lisa. But this beautiful can costs a lot less and looks magnificent in your bathroom. And Mona Lisa can't give you a smooth, close shave. Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol. The American original Barbasol delivers a great shave for half the price of gels. Better yet, Barbasol has a formula for everyone. Why pay more for a great shave? Barbasol.
At hole number 17, and I don't know if we're in another planet or what, but this is a brand new look at a old hole we've seen before, isn't it?
Tee has been pushed way back. Super tight gap to start. I think Rasmus took a bad kick there. I think that's going to play as one of the harder holes.
I believe we've got Scooter and the rest of the crew ready to go down at the tee. Everyone's safe off the tee as we're playing to the short pin on hole 1 these first 2 rounds. Rain continues, and we're lucky enough to have Brian Earhart out on the ground. Brian's with Ricky Wysocki for a walk and talk. Take it away.
Well, what a great day to do a walk and talk in the rain. Ricky Wysocki joins me here on hole 1. Rick, par 3 placement here. What are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing actually. This is my first round out here today. My ankle, I sprained my ankle on Monday and didn't get a practice round. So, I played this course. Luckily, I played a lot of these pins, so I kind of know what I'm doing. So that's a huge advantage for me having previous experience here.
Well, it's wet, and these pavers kind of historically have been a little slick. How are you changing your game plan, your throw to make up for the ankle injury?
Yeah, just try to be light on my feet, use more upper body, hip rotation, stuff like that, to try to counterbalance the fact that I don't have as much leverage from my push-off foot, which is my left ankle. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to be able to feel good enough to play. I'm not perfect, but I mean, that's kind of the nature of professional sports. You got to play through injuries, play through ups and downs, and I'm just glad to be out here competing.
Well, Rick, thanks for the honesty. We'll see you out there. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
And here's the post that we were referencing earlier that Wysocki himself made. Saying grade 2 sprain would be, oh no. This one I had not yet seen. I thought that one was going to be on his OnlyFans, but it looks like he's sharing this one with all of us.
And it says, good to go for my tee time today, which means this photo was from this morning. And looking at all of that, I've had several ankle injuries. Just looking at all of this bruising, I mean, he definitely tore something. There's a lot of ligaments in there. Definitely had some it's a major injury. And I think all of us can agree. We're happy to see Ricky playing as long as he's not injuring himself more. That's the key here.
Major just around the corner, and then, of course, the Tour Championship the week after that.
And being his left ankle, I'm going to be interested to see how it affects the forehand as well, which is that plant foot versus that push-off on the backhands. Obviously looked pretty good on one, though. He popped one out there pretty good. Man, I can't lie. Watching Silva Saarinen play this morning so well in the rain, it feels like a very Finnish fall day. Not surprised to see 4 fins near the top of the board there.
Another thing to keep in mind here in the playoffs, all of the groups are set by those tour standings points. So the players that have been best through the season are going to tee late in the day every first round. So it makes some sense that we're seeing some names up there. in the board, and obviously Europeans really playing well so far.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that was something that we talked about even opening the show with Nathan Queen playing as well as he did, but well outside of the Tour Championship looking in. Survived today. I think that's a good word for today. Just survive. Don't make the big mistake. It's hard to imagine somebody getting to double digits in these conditions. Not impossible, but unlikely. You want to stay within reach. On the other hand, Antola's going, yeah, this is a pretty nice September day. Let's get this party started.
Yeah, that does not look like a pain-free experience for Ricky today. You got to think with the putt, obviously the big push from that back leg. He does leave that first one short. Anthony in for the birdie. Probably the silver lining, if you're Ricky, is that he has a 100-point lead on that man right there, Kyle Klein, in the Tour standings. So even if he can't bring his full A game, if he can kind of maintain some contact, unlikely to lose his much ground in the standings.
Antola strikes on the first. We'll be right back.
I'm Jennifer Allen. I'm Sarah Hokum. And I use the Trekker. And I use the Trekker LG. The Trekker holds up to 25 discs, and I like a lot of extras. The LG holds 30 discs, so I can have backups for my backups. There's nothing that I don't have room for. There's even enough room for your emotional support animal. I think the Trekker is for someone who wants to have everything on the course. You want to be prepared. We can carry everything we need, and I have a comfortable place to sit on the course.
Bean boots aren't made to sit on a shelf. They're made to be worn. To see the world from the ground up. From Maine to Tokyo. Side trails to soccer practice. Seasoned by the seasons themselves. You wear them in by simply wearing them out. Here, there, and everywhere in between. These are boots that become more and more yours with every step forward. And the best way to wear them is to just keep wearing them.
Taking a look at the Hold My Bag Fantasy Disc Golf picks. And Doss, I figured I'd give you another chance to come after me.
Well, this time we went with a true snake draft, and Terry got to pick first. So he is big on Antola. Looks like that pick might do well as we think with Antola. I got Burr. I did go on and take Burr there. But look, Lazat, I love him. Macbeth, winner from last week. It's a good group, man. Yuli, I think that's a good pick right there. Playing well early, trying to fight his way into the Tour Championship.
I last saw him hanging out around even, but we'll check back in with him. Tukinen just playing for the layup. Salkaripi.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a par on 17 will be as close to a birdie as we've seen all season long. That hole is going to play extremely challenging, as Sexton mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I think there's a nice shot into the green for Tukinen, but I think Rasmus's experience on that hole will be something we see a lot. He got through the gap, took a kick, then he had to go forehand roller into the Christmas trees. He did well from there, but then you're still out of position, even after making those two shots. So it's going to be a special birdie. The people that can get it, go through that gap with aggression, bite off 450 plus through that small gap. That's kind of what it's going to take to get any kind of repeatable birdie.
Andrew Fish, the only one that's gotten it today, and he did it from 60 feet. Here's Burrell on 2.
That'll be out of bounds for Antila.
Tukinen in with a 6-under effort on the day. Wysocki takes the tee of 2. This is not turned enough.
I think the big challenge on a day like today is a lot of disc changes. Generally in the rain, you're going to sort of disc up a little bit because you don't have as much of that freewheeling power. The grip's a problem. The footing is a problem. And not surprised to see those 2 shots from both AB and Rick just falling off a little left. Seems to me as if Antila just tried to pop it just a little bit too much.
Yeah. And disc up, you're saying go up
Go
maybe a
faster.
speed class.
Yep,
Yeah,
going faster.
Sure.
And that can lead to very errant shots.
Yes.
Certainly a grip issue there, it looks like, from Klein.
Yeah, Steve Dodge telling me this morning that they're expecting about an inch of rain today. So it's going to be wet for sure.
Will be a bogey for Rasmus there on 17.
Letting in from the drop zone.
Oh boy, so that's going to mean his disc never crossed inbounds, never hit the retaining wall, forced him to go to the FPO tee, and from there he hasn't done especially well. So looking to be heading in the wrong direction on the 14th.
Saki was looking to stretch out to his right. Might be going back for either a disc change or maybe he's waiting on Klein. That looks like Klein will be going first.
Certainly looks like a nice steady rain, but I'm happy to see that the guys are generally still throwing in the t-shirt. Like, it's not cold enough to necessitate full-on rain gear all day. That's one of the hardest conditions to really throw the kind of shots you would like to.
And to add, I agree with that. To add on to that, it's not crazy windy. You know, there's obviously a slight breeze, but we've played this tournament in rain and a ton of wind, and this is just a horrendous roll.
Wow.
He went for the roller. You don't generally expect it to kind of wiggle its way backwards like that.
That was a surprising play. He must have had some ceiling constraints. I'm kind of surprised to see him go to that roller, especially through the wet grass. And is that doesn't look like an OB line. The pink color probably means casual relief for Rick.
Just the fact that he went that deep past
It's
the basket.
You make a good point there, Sexton, and I think our fans at home might be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
There is no OB long here, but he will get relief from that.
He'll probably be behind the, or no, he might be able to come to the front side.
Or to the side of it, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see where they mark that.
Yeah.
But a little bit of an errant shot for sure.
Off the front of the basket by Barella. So close to a long birdie.
verify before you tee off. I'll verify before you get to 14.
Just don't land on the bleachers.
And we got a little trivia here. Gannon Burr is the one of 3 players with multiple 6+ win seasons. Who are the other 2? So he's just one of 3 that have multiple 6+ win seasons.
You're welcome.
I have a question about the wall on 14.
I don't know. Put your thinking cap on. Antala was trying to save the par as he's now crawling into the OB area on this right side. Brian, is it me or is that paint line new? We've always used the wall, I thought, but now I'm seeing paint on too?
Yeah, I just spoke to Brian Cole with the DGPT operations team. He mentioned that the paint is new. It's now on this side of the rocks. That's the inbounds line. It used to be over the top of the rocks. It was a little bit tough to decide back then, and they've made it a little bit more official by painting the line. There's actually a line on the other side of the rocks, too, that delineate the OB on hole 6.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, this is the same wall that runs down into the right of hole 6.
So this is going to be interesting for Ricky. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm looking through the course rules, and I'm not sure how this is delineated. But it does say relief from obstacles. The obtained relief is backwards on the line of play. Now, I don't know if this is considered an obstacle. But he took it on that front side.
I think that's played correctly.
Okay.
With it lined like that, generally that's going to play like out of bounds, get your meter, but no penalty.
I do agree the no penalty part. Just don't know if the direction was proper. But either way, I mean, he did talk to the group about it.
Klein taking his 1 meter to bring it in from the OB line, making that putt that much shorter. Would you say that was under my umbrella? All right, we more bad jokes and the answer to this trivia when we come back.
Max out your cards, not your wallet.
What's your wallet? At OTB, every disc is virtually in your hand, carefully measured, weighted, and examined, giving you the ultimate confidence in your game. Head to OTB now to get your new favorite discs.
The MVP Open is presented by MVP, the leading edge in disc sports, and OTB Discs, only the best. And Fiddlehead Brewing Company, the official craft beer of the Disc Golf Pro Tour playoffs, brewing approachable, multi-dimensional beers.
can clarify that Ricky played that exactly as it's defined. We found the area. It's a relief area marked in pink, played as out of bounds with no penalty, took his mark towards the basket just within the rules perfectly.
First off, what I would like to do is to give proper thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for this opportunity. I must say that disc golf for our family has been an answer to prayer. I want to thank so many people that have been encouraging to my son Evan. The disc golf community is awesome. I don't want to name names because I'll forget and I don't want to hurt any feelings. Evan is only 13. He just started playing in tournaments this year. He's doing great. He's at a 973 rating. He obviously desires one day to be out here competing against these guys, the greatest players in the world. So, being 13, if he's going to get this over that pond, I want to introduce my son Evan, and I want you to give him a big round of applause to get him to get it over that pond. Oh yeah.
Way further than I can throw. And now for our lead group. Up first. We'll just wait for the jet. Or not. From Urbandale, Iowa, Gannon Burr.
First shot of the day. See how it goes.
From Huntington Beach, California, Paul Macbeth. From Safety Harbor, Florida, Calvin Heimberg. From Lawrenceville, Georgia, Isaac Robinson.
Oh, way too far.
Enjoy, gentlemen.
And we got to see this youngster throw, and thanks to Disc Golf Deals, we can break down some of this form here, guys.
I liked what I saw. I mean, the thing you got to remember, form is one thing, but you got adrenaline running through you right now after your dad just told the whole crowd he thinks you can clear the pond. This is a full send. I think the reach back was good.
Yeah, pause it right there. Just leave it right where that arm reached back. Right there. I think every player that's trying to be a pro, this is a beautiful reach back. Look at how straight it goes. Go ahead and play it. He's going to pull that disc right up top there. That's pretty good form.
Oh, yeah.
Just pulled it a little bit. You know, it's raining. It's
Sure.
Well, you can discover the difference at Disc Golf Deals USA with pictures and scaled weights of every disc, along with same-day shipping, rewards in every purchase, and expert reviews and comparisons. Your game, our passion. Disc Golf Deals USA. And what a great time for us to take a look at an up-and-comer and seeing what he was doing there. Some people are probably watching this man's form as our distance champion at the World Championships earlier this year in Finland.
Fantastic. I mean, that drive is huge where we just saw Rasmus. So you can go ahead and believe that I was there when he won the world distance this year. Just a phenomenal talent and a good round today.
Yeah, the Angry Otter taking advantage of the wet conditions out here. Look, man, it's just a day to find a guy in the crowd and strap your bag on him.
Yeah.
I think a caddy is so welcomed on a day like today.
Well, and if you guys guessed Paul Macbeth and Ricky Wysocki earlier, well, not only were they correct, but they probably weren't too crazy of a guess for you to arrive at in terms of what we've seen, as Gannon Buhr is just one of the three with multiple 6+ win seasons.
And I just, out of the ultimate respect, I'm going to put the name of Ken Klemo in that list as well. For a decade, he dominated before these opportunities were even available.
Yes, there was no such thing as an Elite Series in Ken Klemo's heyday.
Yeah.
But were there, he would have been winning.
Oh,
so
100%.
yeah, I think that's absolutely fair in terms of thinking back to the most dominant players we've seen in the last 30 years, 35 years. Gannon Buhr certainly among them already.
No doubt.
But you can't leave out Kenny.
Yeah, so 2003 was the inception of the NT series as Gannon steps up and drops another big bomb for a birdie.
Macbeth is low on his first attempt. Hole 14 with Zach Nash.
Wow.
Almost becoming Zach Splash and almost putting it in on the 14th.
This season, Team Discraft is making a statement, and the message is loud and clear. Discraft, built for flight.
Don't drown till I catch this wave.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
You can watch more live disc golf by locking in your yearly Disc Golf Network subscription. You can do that now for the lowest price of the year. Use code STANDARD99 for a year of DGN Standard, or use code PRO for Standard to get DGN Pro for the cost of a Standard at checkout. It's not even Christmas. All these great deals happening, and of course you want to be tuned in because we've got all of the Disc Golf Network off-season action. Ricky's Roundtable, along with the popular Joe Miz Pro putting game, Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship, just to name a few.
Yeah, the match play as well there in November.
You want to play catch with Brian? All about it. Play catch, or we could catch up with Brian. Tell us a little more about the show, what we could maybe expect to see in that off-season episode and those shows with you.
Well, I always try to catch the players in a nice casual environment. It seems like the conversation, just like playing a game of catch with your buddy, always seems to be really rich and nostalgic in a way. So every time I do one of these episodes, I always leave with some bit of understanding of the person on a level that I didn't have before, and we've done some really great ones. Just a couple sneak peeks. Did some episodes with Anthony Barella, did some episodes with Albert Tam. We got Evelina Salonen, Holland Hanley. It's going to be a great season, and also a little bit of disc history as well mixed in between.
Awesome. Well, time to start buying subscriptions, everyone, and make sure you tune in.
Man, I need to have a game of catch with Brian and ask him some questions. And find out a little bit more about Brian Earhart.
Just tough. He's left-handed. I don't know how that works. Barella trying to go up and over. And that was for par. And the rain is definitely getting worse.
Come on, Cole. Come on, birthday.
Forward Dolan trying to find safety. He does. Safe on the 8th.
I mean, the 8 holes are there, rain or shine. Does not matter. They're set up. They're posted. Local and Simon Lizotte. The spring version of this tournament called the Cosmic Open. Simon did win it this year, so we'll keep an eye on Simon. If you had one tip, Sexton, what would it be to playing in these types of conditions? If you had just one.
Wow. Yeah. I think giving yourself a little bit of grace that it isn't your practice round and that you probably aren't going to put together that -10 and allowing the game to come to you a little bit. It's easy to say and can be hard to do because nobody likes to have a putt slip off their hand and miss a short one like we just saw from a couple of the guys. But I think if you can kind of get into a headspace that allows you to say, the field's not going to do as well, I'm probably not going to do as well, but if I stay mentally strong, I'm going to give myself the best chance to be where I want to be.
Man, yeah, so well said. I would go down the route of I always focus on making sure that my thumb has grip, especially off the tee. it sounds ridiculous. You have 5 fingers on your hand, but that thumb on top of the disc is so critical.
Yeah.
Just make sure that thing is there, and generally you can get some cleaner rips in the rain. But I do agree with you. This is a mental battle versus a physical one.
Canna current conditions are showing us not too cold. The fact that it's 68 is okay. Clearly the humidity is up. Winds seem to be down coming out of the south to southeast. Brian, we're seeing the conditions now. Is that what's in the forecast for the next few days? What do you got for us?
It seems like this is going to be the worst of it. It seems like things are going to clear up a little bit this weekend. I'm going to go find a tree and knock on some wood because, yeah, today's been brutal. And I was just talking to a local out here. It's just one of those days where it's warm, so you're not necessarily getting to put on a bunch of layers. You're sweating underneath your raincoat, so it's a little uncomfortable out here.
A couple of great tee shots in the 5th.
It's a great angle showing you how narrow the gap really is on hole 3. I think from the tee it looks a little simpler. This vantage point shows you really have to work the disc from left to right. You're not going to be able to throw a dead straight shot and get there. Looking to make that little S line. Once you throw it over there, that little bit of early release, you're at the mercy of the trees. You could take a kick that'll make your par, no problem. And then at the end of the round, you'll be like, oh, yeah, whatever, I parred it, no big deal. I didn't really throw that bad a shot. The exact same shot, if you kick left, you can make a double bogey. And it can really undo your whole day. So you really want to avoid that left side if you can do it. This looks perfect. What a shot. Always amazing when a player can hit a woods gap, a technical shot on a rainy day so perfect, like a shot that you would be thrilled on the best summer day of the year.
Yeah.
To correct for everything, and that's going to be potentially a problem for Heineberg.
The most incredible hole-in-one I've ever seen was David Felberg on this hole. It was raining and 30-plus mile-an-hour winds. It is the most incredible ace that I've seen with my own 2 eyes. Of course, the Barsby ace in Santa Cruz, that one nobody saw.
Yep.
But it was incredible.
The blind hole.
But hopefully we have some footage of that Felberg ace because, man, that one was crazy.
Over to hole 8, over the water, through the water. With the rain really coming down, Gavin Babcock forehand. Fantastic.
Babcock off to a great start. He'd go on to make that birdie, so he's 4 under through 8. Dahlin converts on the drive.
Way to go!
He's not the oldest heck.
First cut.
I'd bet $100 he makes this one.
Considering you just told us he did.
Wait a minute.
That's
What?
a fair bet. Is that NXT rated? Also, Paul did kick right, which was a fortunate kick there back to the middle of the fairway. With a very nice second shot. Unlike Calvin, who did kick significantly left here, we see it now. And this is exactly what you were explaining, Sexton, having to deal with all of these trees on the left side.
And now you're trying to throw a touch shot, you know, in the wet. You can see him going to the towel, trying to find that grip, see if he can play it through here. And kind of a nasty reaction off the ground. Did not get the skip he was hoping for. He went driver there to play a skip, so unlucky to catch the root. Going to have to bail himself out with a big putt.
And Kelvin Heinberg is up on our NXT bets as to whether or not we'd see him better or worse. 6.5 is the line. You can head on over to nxtbets.com/playdgpt. Man, it feels like, I hate to say it, but it feels like almost all bets are off when we're talking about rain rounds. I mean, there's just so many things that obviously come into play. And let's face it, some players are better rain players than others. And you think back to Kelvin Heinberg having one of the greatest runs ever at the USDGC a few years ago. Well, in the pouring rain, some of the worst conditions that event's ever been played in. Lizotte, T of 8.
Yeah, that was the Chris Dickerson the year that won the USCGC. Calvin chasing hard in the horrible conditions.
One of the things I remember the most about that day was just seeing the staff with shovels and brooms just trying to get water off the tee pads. It was like ankle deep on some tee pads, and they're digging little channels and trying to work everything so the tournament could go on. But that was some hurricane season, heavy rain in South Carolina. And wow, that was not close.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if that tree was a big factor there. Obviously went to the straddle putt.
Might have just been forced to lay it up almost.
Yeah.
Evan Smith, forehand on 8. Skipping up and bullseye hit or just beyond. Easy putt coming back as Gannon Burr is in for birdie. So the drive by Wysocki come in. He'd be in for birdie. Antela also in for birdie on the 5th.
Man, just looking at Nathan Queen's scorecard, he was 4 down through the first 5. What a start. Simon paying off with the birdie. It's a European invasion, Terry. Let's see, 3 Finns and a German all at the top of the board there.
Nathan Queen picking up the birdie as a lefty on hole 3 in the rain. That must have been a special shot. Steve Heiser perhaps late flipping it back towards the basket. Hole 6, one of the most critical on the course every year. Some amazing, amazing birdies and some absolute nightmares. Even up into our top cards. It's got the OB down the right side the entire way. Some late OB left that Ricky Wysocki needs to be a little bit worried about.
Yeah, you can see he did hit a tree on that left side.
That's one you'll be happy to hit.
And a decent kick, keeping him in that area.
Whoa.
Yeah, Gannon with the jump putt. And we've seen that play before from him.
Yeah.
And look at that, all the way down, just outside of bullseye. He's got less than 15 feet for birdie.
It's a huge advantage to be able to do that. Macbeth to the overhand.
I believe we saw him do that last year as well. trying to simplify hitting the gap.
Yeah, it does a couple things for you, I think. It makes the gap hit easier, and it also limits the amount of skip that is possible, where like a backhand that's going to skip and still be right side up and have some lift and some flight characteristic to it, you could kind of see it maybe going over the boards. That upside down shot is going to flop and bounce, and it's going to stop quickly.
Wow, and Calvin hit the branch going across the early. You can see it right at the top of your screen there. That's the one he hit.
Looks like Silas Schultz.
Big tee shot on 14 over the water the entire way.
Green flag for Silas.
Wow.
Whoa, that looked strange, didn't it?
Yeah, maybe bounced into that spectator area.
It looked like it. Wow, that looks great.
It's a special shot.
These conditions, playing all the way back up the hill there.
Robert Burridge on 14. He's currently sitting at 3 under.
Fantastic shot. Mid-circle 1. I'm starting to feel a little more sympathy for the guys. This rain is looking a little bit more oppressive as we go on. Paul Ulibarri 2 under so far. Paul is, I think, a guy you can look to make a big push this week. He really wants that Tour Championship, and who wouldn't? He's been working hard all year. He's right on the cusp, and that is going to help his cause. What a shot.
And I think Yuli, with where he started the week, just outside looking in, he's in a really good position as Calvin. That was his par putt. He's in a good position. If he plays well, he'll earn his way in. And I think that is the ideal scenario. Versus the guys who are much deeper.
Wild card.
They need
or
wild
bust.
card
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, no way that they can get in on points.
So Yuli has 3 chances. A win, getting in just with good play, as well as the last-ditch wild card.
Yeah.
Dang, Paul having to step over the T sign for hole 5 there. Definitely limited the stroke.
Yeah. The times that we have seen Gannonberg go to the jump putt off the tee, obviously it requires quite a short hole, but he has got a nice percentage going. I mean, it makes perfect sense. He's one of the most accurate putters we've ever seen. You think he's going to miss a gap going with that form? You know, it's got to be feeling like one of the easiest shots on the course for him.
You see the very short walk from 4 to 5. And while they get set, we'll head back. Silas Schultz, the putt on 14. Just off the top.
Burridge in for birdie. Ulibarri going to step up to his short putt.
Yuli wearing a 1990 cotton shirt and or 2025 really nice waterproof jacket. Same size.
Yeah, cut is similar. Cut is similar.
At first I saw him go, what's he wearing? Realized it was a jacket. Oh, this is the new basket location we're seeing there for the first time on 9.
Nice bounce.
There's no belonging this year, right?
Forehand, not a problem for Gannon, excuse me, as he goes up and over on 5. And Macbeth even better.
And I know this sounds ridiculous, but because it's raining so heavily and that is tough, but the fact that there's very little wind, that is a huge bonus on specifically on the holes right near the water.
Yes.
Because you could play in a perfect day with a 15-mile-an-hour wind here, 20-mile-an-hour wind, and it's like the hardest hole you've ever played.
Yeah, can't get it to stay up in the air. Whoa.
Big skip off a root. That was another unfortunate ground play.
Yeah, 2 of those already for Heimberg.
Yeah, that took a huge skip.
Wysocki on the tee of 7. He's 1 under through the first third of the course.
It sounds really good.
First sight of Sullivan Tipton today. Teeing off on 8.
Just seeing a lot of my names on my hold my bag right near the top, Terry. What a shot by Sully. Park job. This is one of yours right here, Terry. And what a shot. Gets all the way through.
Taking another look at our various picks. We've seen Evan Smith out there, who's also playing well.
Yeah, that was a big pick
Antela.
there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking Yuli, we just saw him birdie. Casey White's just outside the top 10. Tippy inside the top 10. Simon inside the top 10.
I haven't even talked to these guys to give them a pep talk yet. I'm not worried about it.
Oh,
at
that's
all,
true.
Doss.
You
I'm
got
not
3 more
worried.
days.
Just nothing good about this at all. The water still technically is in play, the OB. Obviously, you're putting to that elevated basket, so that can bring it more into play. And just being this far back, along with having to straddle out as far as he does. And he didn't even think about that. That was crazy.
Oh, and he still has quite a putt there.
Certainly wanting to go over the first branch into that high window. Can see and hear the green of hole 8 as those players advance.
And a good putt for Heimberg to avoid his 3rd bogey in a row.
Fantastic start for Burr. Missed a very makeable putt on hole 2. Got everything else.
And while Gannon is still young, but he's won almost everything, he has not won here. I believe he's had 3 tries at this tournament. This will be the 4th, and he hasn't won. And I think that's a little bit of a bonus for him mentally to try to get out here and get the victory at the MVP.
raining everywhere out there on the course. Stay warm, stay dry, and stay right here.
Let's send these boys back to the lobby. Get on. Oh, Grandma's got a hot kettle for that tea bag.
How did you get so much energy from a candy?
One Shot is no ordinary candy. It only has 4 grams of sugar, and the nootropics help prevent jitters and crash.
Grandma, do you think I could try one of those One Shot energy chews?
Oh, sure, honey. But if you come for the queen, you better come correct, Sprout. I'm the OG. Got it?
Got it.
Level up your energy with One Shot. Grab yours at oneshotenergy.com today.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
Progress. It's momentum made visible. A constant push towards perfection. Moment by moment, frame by frame, we're building towards something bigger. The time-lapse was my first 12-speed driver, but I knew it could be better. So we went back to the lab, tweaked the feel, the flight, and now it's what it was always meant to be. That's progress. Introducing the retooled time-lapse from the Simon line. No limits.
All right, Tyler, you're up. Let's go.
Okay, but does this outfit look
No,
weird?
you look great. You're just here to talk about Jomez collaboration.
No, I get it. And
The
it's
Halo
like
Emperor. You got
so
it.
we wanna-
You look great. You're in character. Let's get it.
All right. Hey, everybody. The Emperor, the S-Blend Halo Emperor. With... Are you laughing?
I can't believe you even did it.
I knew. See, I knew it. I knew
You
this was a
look
prank. You told me this
ridiculous.
looked like the picture, dude. That's so.
Ooh, early hit from Burr. It looked like it might be low enough to stay in bounds on that rock wall. Although, will that painted line, that new painted line, come into play?
I don't think that should be out of bounds, I would think.
Yeah, you might need the Great Wall of China to stop that one. That was cruising right with a lot of height.
And when players go out of bounds over here, they start to think about throwing over OB to attack the green. This is when we can start to see some big numbers.
And I think the most likely number you're going to see is a double bogey just from that mistake.
Right.
It's not an easy save by any stretch. Calvin has had a bit of a slow start, but big opportunity here with all the other players having struggles. He's going to set up a birdie look.
So Lettinen, we saw in the picture-in-picture throw OB. He never crossed the island, which means he had to go last place in bounds. That was his 4th shot with the out of bounds.
On 8. Missing branches, and it doesn't.
That's the ones on that green. You cannot try to play, a crapshoot on that right side. Those branches are very, very real. They get at you quickly.
That is a fantastic shot from Burr. He was fortunate, I think, to be as far off the wall as he was. But throwing a standstill, kind of a standing forehand through, it comes out with a lot of hyzer, has to flatten as it goes to eat up the distance. Really, really well done. Opportunity to save his par.
Just think if Paul went out right, and that's close as well. I think in bounds, but didn't get an indication. But yeah, right of Isaac is where Paul's going to be playing from.
Yeah, we would imagine. Just perfection from Wysocki with the forehand. Okay, Macbeth maybe hit some trees.
But check it out. Because he has almost nothing, he's talking about going out over OB.
Yes.
We'd have to think of a secondary hit. In fact, that tree is just to the right of him. He may have hit flying that direction, kicking him here. But he's going to go aggressive, immediately going OB, having to throw over these Christmas trees, and then getting back over the rock wall by the basket.
This is a huge moment. I mean, you miss this shot,
you're thrown again, basically.
and you're looking at a triple.
Yeah, mistake has to be left.
And he pulls it off. Macbeth gets back to the fairway or just deep of the pin, and you have a look to save it.
Wow, that would be a ridiculous par.
Certainly a close shave here for Macbeth. Barbasol, our Disc Golf Pro Tour playoffs sponsor, as he barely just gets over. Close shave, America. Close shave, Barbasol.
Barella needing a birdie very badly. 2 over. And that'll do it. Great shot.
Okay, so for all the shots that we thought were going out of bounds, everybody able to stay in on this hole. Some good fortune. Isaac really didn't have much of a play for the green from where he was. So bogey, not that bad a result.
Yeah, and even though he was only a few feet from where Gannon was, the angle was just even more severe to try to get around those initial trees. Third shot from Simon on this par 5.
Just flipped to the right. You can see the basket top left of your screen. To that point, he had played the hole perfectly. Great drive, got to the spot.
Do it! Oh, good run, good run. Good run. Smart.
Kyle just going to lay it up.
We were talking about the idea of if there was peer pressure from really from the 8 holes, from the gallery, because they want to see people make that putt.
On this angle, Paul does have to minorly worry about juicing it and bringing that rock wall into play.
Maybe why he was tentative in that uphill putt there.
Yeah, I think Calvin has the same thing in mind. I mean, you can't just absolutely blast it. Anything off the tops of these baskets generally runs at least 15, 20, and that's right where that rock wall is, within that 15 or 20 feet back there.
Ooh, just off the rocks. Nothing good happening for Heimberg so far today. 2 over.
Lazat, a birdie look.
Man, he got a better look than I thought.
Agreed.
With how far right he was, for him to even have this was a bonus. I still think in these conditions on that hole, 5 just fine.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a lot of birdies today.
That'll make the ankle feel a little better. Good birdie on a scary hole.
Last thing any of these guys wanted to see was Gannonburg running away from them right away.
Great view of how close that rock wall is. In fact, closer than I even said. That's like 8 feet. Not even.
No,
7,
yeah, less.
5 feet.
Yeah, less. Yeah.
It's so close. So you could think of that putt with Cal, but anything off the top of that basket is OB. Macbeth, same situation.
Yeah, any air ball is probably
Is OB.
You
Calvin
don't
got
even
fortunate to hit the top rock.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at hole number 7. Thanks to our friends at Zenny.
Yeah, hole 7 is just its second year that we're playing it with this new design. It used to go up the road on the left side of your screen. Now, this 422-foot blind hole over the rise, breaking just slightly to the right. I think turnover backhand's a great option. Power forehand is a great option. This is not a hole that we see too many park jobs on. I think most of the good work we're going to see is going to be done from 25 to 40 feet. Play it through the gap, work it a little bit right, and see if you can earn birdie with your putter.
If you use code DGPT, you can get 10% off your order over at zenny.com. And we're going to throw it down to Brian on the ground. And Brian, I believe you got another special guest with us?
I do, Terry. I have a guy who's been in the game of disc golf a long time, but he might also be known from a little thing called the Final Four. He's done some stuff from a thing called the Super Bowl. He's with CBS Sports, Adam Zucker. He's a disc golfer for a long time, big-time sports commentator. How's your first time here at Maple Hill?
I am just in awe here, Brian, and it's great to see you, man, and hi to the guys in the booth. But this is so eye-opening at what an amazing operation this is, from what you guys have to do to cover this whole event all day, especially in the rain. And just to see the human force out here with the ropes and the people management that has to take place. Because I'm bad at tags. I'm bad at getting in somebody's way when they're putting or walking too early. I am petrified of making somebody miss a putt right now. But it is so cool to be here, man.
Adam, what do you make of the talent that you're seeing up close and personal now?
You know what? We hung out on hole 1 for a while earlier today, and we hung out on hole 14 watching FPO coming through with some near aces. Someone's flying an Ewok cruiser through here right now. Look at this. Parked. But for as many shots like that, I also see shots that make me feel like they're one of us at the same time. Early trees, even the LL Bean banner on hole 3 I saw get clipped twice today. Here comes another one. Amazing. It's like they have eyes. Is this an easy hole?
Me and Adam are having a great time out here on hole 7. Let's just call them all. Adam, we are play-by-play.
We are, but I can't see who's teeing off because of the trees. But here comes the third tee on 7. All right. Still in the circle, right?
Isaac Robinson now on the tee. Tricky hole 7. Adam, you're wrong. This is a very challenging hole. I know you're joking. 400 plus feet through the woods. And that's a pretty common result here. Adam, again, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you out there this week.
Hey, it's great to see you. I'll see you with the loud folks on the next one.
Man,
Appreciate
how cool!
Adam. Yeah,
how cool to hear Adam's voice. I first met Adam Zucker 20 years ago as a young Adam, before CBS Sports was doing the commentary for the World Championship in Pennsylvania. In fact, a group that he was with did it for about 4 or 5 years for the PDGA. So really cool to hear Adam. So awesome to see him moving his way up his career and still a big disc golfer.
And we were watching the World Championships 8 months later via VHS tape.
Well, DVD, I think.
Well, at one point it went to DVD, but...
All right, now we're going to go ahead and
Oh. So these are the loud guys? Okay, I think we call them the 8 holes. And it looks like they're ready to go.
And now we are going to bring it up. Bring it up.
If your mullet doesn't come off, you haven't gone low enough.
I'm getting old. I can't go as far back.
It's a little mini culture happening right there on that green.
Just incredible shots from the other 3 guys in this group.
Seriously.
And Macbeth with that backdoor hyzer line. Haven't seen that attempted too many times.
There's more late trees on that right side, but an initial shot, if you can get it online. You know, of the 8 guys we're covering, Ricky is the second best behind Gannon. No bogeys so far for Rick, 2 down through 8. That's still pretty good.
Gannon is putting right now to jump onto our top 5 board down here in the corner of the screen. Like, it's a nightmare start for the field to have Gannon come out this hot in the rain.
Yeah.
Taking control early as he moves to 5 under through 7 holes.
And he's had a little bit of everything. I mean, he's parked holes. He's made a couple of good putts. The one on hole 1 was a great putt. Had a missed short putt and had a really good save back on 6. So he's had a little bit of everything.
Antela, tee of 9.
That is very nice from Niklas.
Over to Simon Lizotte on 10.
You saw his reaction. He's a little nervous because he went long. And that nervous reaction, that's exactly what he was worried about.
Flashes out, but you want in on a new game? We got Slot Shot. Think cornhole with discs. You throw soft rubber discs through the scoop and slots to earn points and win the game. You can scan the QR code to get yours today with the exclusive offer, or go to playslotshot.com and save $100 by using the code DGPT25. If you're not a slot shotter, I don't know what you're doing with your life, if I'm being honest, as we head over to hole number 8, brought to us by FlightFactoryDisc.com. They're offering up some sweet action as well, and we'd love for you to head on to their website. They've got a code for you. It's MVP2025, and you're getting free shipping all weekend long. I know they have the new MVP releases, the Halloween discs, and many more. That's MVP 2025.
The one thing I noticed there, hole 8 playing as the second easiest hole. I think that is a direct reflection, as we see the hype getting going, the direct reflection of no or very little wind.
The other thing I would say is it's a reflection of how hard they've made the rest of the course.
Correct.
Hole 8 has gotten harder as well, you know, playing a little bit longer than it did a few years ago. But they've kind of systematically gone through this course, and anytime a hole starts to look a little easy on the scoring, they've found a way to tweak it. 17 is going to be a huge case of that this year. But yes, low wind helps a lot here when you're going over the water.
What are you doing, bro?
He
The
thinks
forehand.
he's OB, but I'm not so sure.
I think so.
Wow, just over the wall.
And again, the forehand, we talked about it so much last week. Pulls it left. OB, he'll go to the drop zone.
So the wind just keep knocking it down more and more, but instead hits off the podium. Kelvin Heimberg with the one shot. Take another look as it's coming in. You saw it just push down again, and then eventually right off of our podium. That's One Shot Energy. Head on over there, use code DGPT, and get yourself 25% off your order at oneshotenergy.com.
Man, if they were wind bounces instead of wind drops, we might have seen ourselves a hole in one.
All safely finds the green. Robinson next. Use your code. Go get yourself a slot shot. We'll see you when we come back.
The Mach 2 is a legend. For decades, it has been the go-to basket from backyards to courses around the world. Now, we've taken that same trusted design, the same legendary durability, and upgraded to Pro. The Mach 2 Pro features a 24-chain configuration that honors its heritage while setting a new standard for performance. This is the basket you know, perfected for the player you're becoming. The Mach 2 Pro, coming this fall.
Made from the earth, Rhino harnesses the power of plants and the sun to create topical performance products that are good for us and our earth. Formulated by a pharmacist and built by a chef, Rhino's unique line of products helps adventurers perform better and enhance recovery.
Beth lining up for birdie.
Can see the layup of Gannon Burr, the white disc under the basket.
And some of you have noticed the little 4 next to Isaac's name up there. That is your Disc Golf Pro Tour standing and world ranking. Of course, coming into the event in 3rd.
Yeah, and as Sexton explained earlier, I mean, they came in order of their position. So Gannon starting first, Paul second, Calvin and Isaac.
Final feature cards operating that way, you're saying? Yes?
Yeah, well, really, I think the cards throughout the entire day were in order of their position.
Evan Smith, tee of 11.
Okay.
A very fortunate carom off of one of those big Christmas trees.
Those trees are getting tall.
They are getting big, that's for sure.
I can remember when you would have no worries throwing a nice level shot there. He didn't throw that downhill much.
No.
You love the tee shot from Ansela. How do you rate the approach?
Not too bad, but it's going to force him to go out over the water maybe a little more than he might like from there if he does decide to go for the clearance. There's no Christmas trees up there.
This is perfect. Wow, swinging back in front of the big one. Way down there. It'll all depend on the lie if he can get on the front side of those Christmas trees.
Paul Kranz on the tee of 14.
Boy, the most talked about man last week, Paul Kranz. Great performance up in Vermont.
Yeah, you gotta like his odds at the Tour Championship, being a Massachusetts guy, confidence high after his performance in Vermont. Oh, no.
Sullivan tipped in. Converts on his look. I believe, unfortunately for him, though, that was a bogey look.
Okay, Ricky gonna...
Like, lucky to be in bounds with where he was. Had he just gone over that cliff left,
Yes.
he's in the water in that pond.
I was worried about that.
And maybe he was. I don't know.
Yeah.
He looked a little frustrated there. Like more than you would expect just with the poor tee shot.
Take a look at what we're going to be seeing in terms of 9B for the first 2 rounds, and then we'll go back to 9A for the weekend, guys. What are you thinking?
Yeah, they're both really tough. I tend to think 9B, the par 5, is going to play slightly easier to par. We're going to see how that all plays out, but we'll play that for the first 2 days. I think you can recover maybe a little more from a bad drive. 9A, the par 4, just requires so much from you off the tee to be in a place where you could think about playing for a birdie. Niklas going to go with this force over. Oh, that's a horrible break, catching one of the trees and straight into the water. Unlikely to have much of a cross.
Yeah, and I mean, just the technical part of that was a very risky shot because the spin off any one of those trees turning in is going to kick him immediately towards the water. I think the backhand would have been the safer play, less chance to get all the way to the basket.
And a side note to all of that and the stroke, that disc probably isn't coming back anytime soon.
It's gone. Yeah, it went way out there.
This might be the only course in the world where it eventually could come back, but it won't be this year because they do have the scuba guys occasionally, but that's not a high likelihood spot to be looking way out in the center of that pond.
This is a tee shot.
Incredible shot. Please beat that tree.
Oh, he was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. What are you doing throwing it over there to the right?
That was, if not the best, one of the best tee shots on 11 we've ever seen.
Yeah, and in the rain, Simon still got it. He's trying to convince us he's an old guy now that doesn't throw it quite as big, but still got that 600-foot drive.
Well, that's what 2 kids climbing all over you.
Yeah.
They'll do.
Yeah.
They'll tire you out real quick.
This could be trouble. Oh, and it gets a good skip, a little bit of ground play, and it kicks it back toward the fairway. Very favorable for Kelvin Heimberg.
This is just one of those holes, 9, and I believe this is the way 17 will play as well. It's really hard to game plan too much. It's hard to land in the exact same spot all 4 rounds because of the demanding shot this is. Up and over this initial rise as Macbeth hits and kicks left. Up and over that initial rise, it's just hard to put 4 good tee shots down.
It's an interesting hole, especially in the par 5 as well, because you talk about throwing your dream drive. Like, what's the reward after you throw your dream drive?
It's a
Most
pitch.
likely it's a jump putt.
And you have to pitch it.
Down to the
Exactly.
zone. It's not like, so you're sure you're gaining something, but not as much as you normally would be when you throw, like, the shot of your life up through there. I just don't think we're going to see anybody get to a position where they like the idea of crossing in too.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think it just that big perfect tee shot, the jump putt to the landing zone, at least it takes out the danger what we saw from Ricky.
Yes.
Going OB left because he was so far out of position. Big trouble there for Burr.
See what Gannon can do with that. He's in trouble on the 9th.
Hey, aren't you Anthony Barella?
Yes, sir. Try out this Venom.
Thanks, man.
Ooh, Calvin, looking good today.
Calvin Heimberg.
Sorry. Hey, oh, sorry. Excuse me. Hello. Hey, thank you. A Nakwa. I'm looking for a Nakwa. Do you have one?
Hey, Germ, you can't cut in line.
My apologies. You may have noticed I just cut you in line. I'm just looking for a Nakwa.
A Nakwa? Here, use mine.
Got it. Thanks.
Hey, hurry up, man. You're taking forever.
Sorry, man. No 30-second rule here. What about that 100% off player discount?
Paul Kranz for birdie. Good approach for Antala.
Single bogey coming for him.
Simon on the high right side of the hill. And up ahead, Ricky Wysocki on the 9th green. Hole 14, Casey White, local to the area. And he'll slide just about to circle's edge. Macbeth gonna reset. Didn't like something about the footing, but does he find the line? It looks like he has. Hung up on the side of the hill.
That's a very scary third shot upcoming. He's on the little cliff. He's going to have to really control his lower body and still get over that water. When you're hung up on that side hill as you're coming up and over this ridge and you're not all the way down to the bottom, that shot is tough.
Calvin looking at this very small gap. Solid. Always going to have your footing questions, especially on a rainy day, but that's a very slopey area. Also, there's a bit of a little creek there sometimes, so I would think everywhere is probably pretty muddy, but maybe doubly so right in that particular area of the course.
I'd love to ask Brian. Brian, how challenging is it for these players completely blind here to try to find this landing zone?
It's really challenging. It takes a lot of touch and a lot of experience getting to this little area. The flat ground that you can put yourself in to actually attack this green comfortably is so small. So a lot of it is a roll of the dice. You do your best to try to land it soft, but you just hope that you land in a spot where maybe a standstill can get you up to the pin. Where Calvin is not great. Yeah, it's a really weird hole.
Yeah, and Brian, even then, we just saw Isaac roll down and into a very precarious position as well. So it's a tough hole, and you know that's a part of the game out here at Maple is to try to do your best with what you're given on a lot of these holes. Brand new tee pad here on 10. Shorter, but you have the initial gap to hit. Oh boy. It's really tough to tell on camera. Clearly we're looking downhill, but just the slope that Gannon will be going down to set his foot to then throw either level or slightly uphill is so challenging.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to want to kind of follow through going downhill. Can he go to a standstill?
I think you would likely see some players even lay up another time from this location.
Right. He's going for this gap right there. That's where he's throwing.
Just slightly undercommitted, but across looks to be safe.
I mean, that's a big win right there.
Absolutely. I mean, think of where his drive was. He's scrambling his way back to what should be a pretty routine par.
Yeah, Macbeth just trying to dig out a dry, somewhat flat lie here. But again, he's got that same problem. All that momentum is going downhill with your lower body.
Get off that.
Look to kick left.
A very late tree kick. Brian, any chance you saw Macbeth's shot as to where it finished?
I didn't see it finish. It's really thick over there. I'm standing right at this landing zone here where the next two shots are. It doesn't look like it crossed from my perspective, but I can't be definitive about that just yet.
Casey White just barely slides it in.
And I got to say, I mean, Casey has not had the best season. We just haven't seen him at the top, but he's still inside the Tour Championship.
Ouch, Kyle Klein doesn't hit the gap.
You're glad that you got the second kick, though. I mean, with the kind of speed coming off the hand, these guys are going to be bringing like 65, 70 miles an hour. You don't often go through a gap with that kind of heat trying to get up the hill, so a kick could go 200 feet. If we see the wrong little contact to that tree, you might end up deep in the woods. Obviously, he's not making birdie, but I like his odds to get up and down. Yeah, you can see what Brian was talking about. Really awkward for Heimberg. Has to go stand still, kind of sideways stance.
All upper body. His lower body didn't move at all.
I would say great shot.
I'm with you.
I'm not
Now,
sure. Isaac's
Isaac.
going to have the luxury of a swing.
Yeah, because the backswing, it should be that tree. I should say follow through over there for Isaac. Proper term.
And that was Klein's second shot, so giving him a chance to still get the par.
You know, you could see somebody like a Gannon, Ricky, Paul go to a forehand here. And we don't think that Isaac has that kind of shot, but he does.
He's lining it up.
But a kick right off these trees could go OB like we saw from Antela. And it gets through. Very nice. And he's going to have a look at birdie. Remember we talked about it last week. He's sneaky good with the forehand.
Absolutely. Big time putt.
edge of circle, up and over the castle, as they like to call it. I find, like, the further you are away from it, actually slightly easier it is to get over the castle parts.
Sure.
As you get closer to it, it's just more steep.
Yeah, you can kind of put your normal trajectory from a little farther back.
Yep.
A moment ago was Barella's third birdie in a row. Klein now with a chance to save par. Very impressive.
Not only is it impressive par save after the tee shot, I'm kind of his round in his tournament on the line. He's a couple over. Another bogey there would it just hurts. So hopefully a little momentum, a little positivity there for Klein.
Yeah, he doesn't have a birdie yet. Out there through 10 holes. That doesn't happen very often to a player of his caliber with the season he's had.
I don't see any way to get up and down here. Look at all the trees.
Gonna have to hit multiple gaps, that's for sure.
Paul has to be a little bit careful here. You don't want to get frustrated. We talked about how playing in the rain is so mental. Got to stay within it. And boy, that was a missed par putt. Or was that for birdie?
That was, in fact, his birdie luck. So
okay.
Wysocki, though, did leave a little on it on the comebacker, so we'll check back with that. But Macbeth getting ready to go again. Here's the comebacker by Wysocki.
Oh, no.
Way.
And misses it. And then it carries back over the wall. This is going to be as long as the previous putt from this side. Now back up, and that one's in.
To me, it goes all the way back to that birdie putt. The birdie putt didn't look like a good release at all. Gannon just forced to play it safe. Pretty slopey right here. You can see how it's going left to right.
Rick looks to be walking pretty smooth, but I have to blame that on the ankle. I've just seen his putting for too many years be too solid. Back-to-back kind of in-circle, almost air balls. It feels to me like it has to be coming down to the pain he's feeling on that push-off just as he tries to commit. I hope that's, you know, it's hard. I hope he's going to be able to battle through it. But, yeah, I cannot remember the last time I saw Ricky miss two like that.
Hole 9 playing .8 over par. So par is a win. A birdie is a double win.
Yeah, I put it in last week.
I mean, a decent birdie percentage for the conditions at there's been 7 of them today, but really it's the bigger numbers. 21% is double or worse. And you have 40% of the field taking bogey or worse. So, again, to avoid out of bounds, to avoid a big number, a win here on number 9.
Looking for a field goal on the 10th when we return.
Your Birdie Pro champion has been crowned.
I play Birdie Pro.
I play Birdie Pro.
I play Birdie Pro.
I play Birdie Pro, and I win.
You just won $500.
Yes!
Go to BoulderBrothers.com and get Birdie Pro today.
When the everyday excess falls away, and we instead prioritize what matters, we find we can go further with less. Siggy Skier, full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar. Less sets you free.
If you had just one throw to win, would you leave it to chance? At OTB, we make sure you never have to. So why step up with the game on the line without knowing if the disc in your hand is the right one? Because when it matters most, guessing is in the know. Get the exact disc you need today at OTB.
Our PDGA members getting the action free this weekend as part of your PDGA benefits. Make sure you scan the QR code, or if you're watching and your friend's a PDGA member and they're not watching and they're not sure what's going on, well, let them know. It is free for PDGA members this weekend. Glad you're here. We know we got a lot of people out there watching on the YouTubes. Thank you guys for joining us there as well. Heimberg. Right up against the wall.
So again, brand new tee pad here. You know, the hole is significantly shorter. It's just 327 feet, but of course it does play steeply uphill. Going to play right around the 400-foot mark. But the gap is, call it 40, 45 feet. It's something that I think all of our players in normal conditions would want to hit regularly.
I think it'll have the effect of score separation, more birdies and more bogeys. Less pars, because I think the old location was so long, the absolute elite distance throwers getting up there for looks, but you're getting so many players in that sort of 40 to 70 no man's land trying to get up over the castle wall and likely walking with simple par.
Good bounce back shot there for Paul.
Watching Lizotte tee on the 13th.
A brand new basket here for both Thursday and Friday to short. And it looked like it was going to take a run at it, but I think just perfect speed there for Simon. We are playing I think what they call the B layout here on Thursday, Friday, and then we'll play the A layout on the weekend.
Dahlin hits inbounds and gets the green flag.
Nice. I love the spotter. He's like, slow down, slow down, slow down. Green flag. That was great.
Andrew Marweed outside of all circles. Oh, but it doesn't matter. That's what happens when you're one of the best putters on the tour year after year. Andrew Marweed as we roll that Zuka replay.
Yeah, you can see he was 4 over. He just hasn't given himself opportunities to make putts. But that's a good one down the hill.
Marweed, 92.44% C1X putter. That's the best in the game this year.
I would say one of the only guys in the world from that stance to be able to get that clean of a look with just like a toss.
Yeah. Oh no. This could roll a long way.
Rolls
it just
to
keeps,
circle's edge.
It just keeps going downhill behind the pin.
tries it, grabs some metal, but doesn't quite get it to drop on the 10th. Gavin Babcock, 19th place in our Disc Golf Pro Tour standings. Currently more than safe in terms of heading to the Tour Championship in October.
Yeah, he's one of those no-doubter guys. He's going to definitely be playing it. So don't have to think about that this week. Just try to play your best and give yourself a chance to win.
Pause and reset by Lizotte. And there must be something else that's still...
Yeah, he's putting back towards the crowd. And they're just not quite settled in. And I think we can say this confidently. Just stay still.
Yeah.
Just stay absolutely still. The player can putt with you in their line. They just don't want you to move.
See if it rattles him.
It certainly did.
I think there were people trying to get out of the way and then still trying and then still trying. And Macbeth cashes that one in on the 10th.
Don't see too many forehands off the tee of 12. Tipped him with big power. Still going to be a little short of the zone, in my opinion.
That rock right there is always a good indicator of kind of this crest of the hill. Man, got to hand it to that spectator back there with the soft close of that porta potty door. I want to throw a shout out.
Yeah, some situational awareness right there.
That was great.
I would be willing to double down and bet that if there's also a note on the door. That's something I've been recommending for years. Always have a note on those doors. Here's a basketball putt from Heimberg.
The world leader in basketball putts.
Yeah, in attempts even as well.
Yeah,
not only completions,
and
but also
probably
attempts.
make percentage.
Yes.
Yeah. The guy who goes to that when he needs to.
It's so interesting. He's not flipping it. He's actually spinning it.
Really basketball. Backspin.
Yeah.
Just puts it kind of on an angle. Clearly a signature move of Kelvin Heimberg throughout the years.
He's made quite a few of those.
And now that we're at Maple Hill, where Birdie Pro really originated, I really am paid to talk about all the good things that Birdie Pro gives you guys in terms of board games. Best board game in the world. So tell us what you think of the Birdie Zone here, guys.
Well, you can see my drive and Simon's drive there.
Okay.
There I am at 400 looking at a pretty tricky approach, and there's Simon. We saw it earlier. Standstill putter in after he got it past every tree. But I agree with that Birdie Zone area. It's just whether you can get yourself an open look, not be right behind one of the evergreens.
When we're looking overhead from our Flight Factory drone.
Look, this is where Simon got to. And my thing about looking at the Birdie Zone is it even attainable at that point? Because you got to get past all those late Christmas trees. Very difficult. And to land it just dead center perfect was impressive by Simon earlier.
You head over to flightfactorydisc.com, use code MVP2025, get free shipping all weekend. Of course, you can support your favorite pros like Calvin Heimberg, who I know has gear there. They also have the new MVP Halloween disc. Free shipping, purchase this weekend, MVP 2025.
So now Tipton's got to go flex shot over the hill, try to get the nose down.
And totally blind. Cannot see. He can just see the gap towards the pin. Cannot see the pin at all. And I think with that tee shot, that's more than likely going to be Tipton's downfall on that hole for the whole week if he's unable to get a view of the pin.
Safe shot from Simon. Probably going to have to lay up from back there.
Simon Lazat's going to have to look for a little magic from that side of 14. We'll see when we return.
Bean boots aren't made to sit on a shelf. They're made to be worn. To see the world from the ground up. From Maine to Tokyo. Side trails to soccer practice. Seasoned by the seasons themselves. You wear them in by simply wearing them out. Here, there, and everywhere in between. These are boots that become more and more yours with every step forward. And the best way to wear them is to just keep wearing them.
Down.
Overstable wallets.
What's your wallet?
There's no way he's running this, right?
Right.
While they do that, Brian, am I seeing umbrellas being put away possibly? What's going on out there?
Yeah, the umbrellas are going away. The rain is starting to calm down a little bit. It's still sprinkling just a bit, but it's funny, the wind is starting to pick up. So it's kind of miserable when it's raining and windy. You can't really keep your umbrella out. You're always kind of fighting it to stay over your head. So right now I think people are just making the best bet, and they're just putting the umbrellas away for now.
And Brian, we see this lead card waiting. Are they waiting for them to tee on 12, or are they still down there in the fairway?
Well, yeah, it's a little weird, obviously. When you finish the hole, you have to kind of walk backwards and backtrack to get to the tee of 12. And I think sometimes because we've seen drives burn over and go that direction, I think people are just being courteous here.
Very nice. So the wind stops, but the rain picks up. Or, excuse me, the rain stops and the wind picks up.
Speaking of picking up wins, Adam Hammonds did that here a few years ago.
Yeah, he did.
Off the top. That's going to be a difficult back.
Yeah.
We've got it ready for you. See if that tree is in play at all. No, it's not. Hammonds, not a problem. Just like the Northwoods of Minocqua, doing work out there.
Made it look easy. That was not an easy putt. Back up the hill, tough stance. Very nice execution.
Find the short grass and avoid any trees.
Yeah, I think there's such an interesting decision to be made here, especially for the bigger throwers. Go as hard as you can, get way down there, but you might get hemmed up on a Christmas tree versus playing it into the opening and then having a longer second shot.
Yeah, we see Macbeth going a little bit more with that idea, not really willing to drag the disc over to the right and play for big distance.
That skip did not look great as it went towards the Christmas trees. There's just a lot of odd-sized trees out here as well. Some that are in your swing, some that are completely up ahead, above your head.
That looked to be pretty solid. High stall shot.
I think all of those that we just saw, those three, were a little bit left of ideal. You'd like to be a little bit more right if you're going to be short. Now, Gannon, of course, going huge here. That's dragging way right, like Brian talked about. It's going to get all the way to the woods line, and it does.
With every passing hole, the score of Nathan Queen is looking better and better. What a day he had to put that 7 under down early.
Right? Clean, no bogeys. You see Gannon go way left here. That's exactly what we saw from Simon, but the disc just did not have the stability that he expected. You can see it's trying to get back to level, but it was already on the trajectory of growing right. Let's see if it gets all the way in. Looked like he might have stayed at the edge there. Still a chance to make birdie. But yeah, I mean, look, Nathan Queen, a 7 under par, clean scorecard. He did go really dry in the back 9. Look at, I mean, from 9 all the way to 18, just the 1 birdie. But what an impressive front 9 in those conditions.
Absolutely. And, you know, you're often in our tournaments, you know, you get somebody with a nice round early, and especially in the playoffs when our best players aren't teeing till late, you're tempted to kind of go, yeah, 7's good, but how good is it really? But as we move through this round and we see a lot of guys running into struggles, I think Nathan Queen has an opportunity to be on the lead card.
Yeah.
And as we're looking at the scores, you guys were just mentioning Nathan Queen at 7 under, which is where Cole Radallen just got to. Keep in mind, though, 17 is looming. You were talking about that, Sexton, how difficult that hole is. There's only been the 1 birdie by Andrew Fish earlier today, and that was from 60 feet. So I don't want to say effectively it hasn't been birdie, but it took a throw in to a very difficult basket in order to be able to do it.
Yeah, and shout out to Casey White. Casey White is on 17 right now. He's at 6 down with a double and a single, but has birdied the last 4 holes.
Evan Smith a little bit right, but he sneaks through. Kind of a bad roll. Going to have mid-circle 2 or so.
Yeah, in this group, we've only been talking about Simon. We've shown a couple of shots from Smith, but he's just 1 shot back of Simon. And this is where that skip. See how it took him into those trees. Gonna have to go to the forehand. Plus, like I said, they're left of ideal. The gap is way over here on the right side of your screen. That's where Paul's looking.
Turned it too early. Get through.
And you could hear him overcooked it.
In that scenario, you'd rather overcook it than underdo it.
Sure.
Go right, kick right.
Sure.
And go deep.
Downhill, 13 for Hammes.
Can this get to the ground?
Oh, just barely misses. I mean, is this inches?
Wow.
Certainly a close shave by our friends at Barbasol. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. Put it on your face.
He'd kind of take that shot for the long pin, which we'll play on the weekend, as well as the short pin. He's going to have a putt for birdie.
You're probably looking at 35 on either pin.
Yeah, exactly.
Roughly from there.
Yeah. Way left for Tippy, but it kicked down nicely. It could have been a lot worse. Still going to have to struggle to make par.
Robinson also kind of tied up in the trees. And this is a bit late. Did not hit the main gap.
Speaking of the main gap, Simon Lizotte right down the middle, a little bit too good, as he's going to go long of the basket. That's what I'm talking about when you lay it off and it starts heading right. A lot more trees on that side. Like I said, all these guys, they're trying to play for distance, get it way down there, give themselves a shorter second. But they're so far off of the line down the gap. Had they played it back a little bit more to the right in the fairway, they'd have a better look at the fairway.
I think Cannon still has a decent chance to put this close. Going to look for some severe angle, try to work with the skip a little bit.
Yeah, maybe through this gap or out here. It'll kind of depend on kind of his angle from his view. I think the inside line of that tree with forward momentum, probably his best chance.
If you can clear that little rock wall. That makes sense to me.
Oh, and he goes outside, plays the high side, and it's going to work out.
Plenty of skip available.
Wow. Nice play. It's a little better view of what he was looking at. Still a tight line that he made work well.
Wow, that was looking really nice from Evan. This got a little bit trickier than it looked like it might be. Sullivan down in the pit to the left. Well done to get himself up to the basket. Wow, have we ever even seen anybody this far long?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't think we have.
I thought it was 30 feet. Looks more like 60.
Near ace run. Does Hammis convert from circle 2, and that's off the top?
Thought the wind would slam it, dude.
What kind of line does Calvin have? In the thick stuff over here on the right. Wow.
Able to give it a run? Crazy. A pretty good one at that.
Yeah, it was.
I can see where he was there. Yeah, he kind of got the pin high. Should see Macbeth over here on this left side. Chance to give it a little run as well. See how it's just a little softer on this left side, not so bushy. Still has a lot of trees to deal with. But also putting downhill. Can zoom a little bit here.
Drop.
I think Paul smartly went with a more nose-up effort there, but with the last tree he had to beat, hard to get it to the basket on that putting line.
Nice birdie for Gannon Burr there. moves him to 5 under for the day.
Yeah, just even par for the last 4 holes.
Cleanup on aisle 11 complete. We'll see you guys on the 12th.
If you design, if you test, if you manufacture, there is only one technology partner you need. TriMet Group is the leading provider of design, engineering, and manufacturing solutions for thousands of companies across North America and Europe. Innovation starts here. TriMetGroup.com.
As a longtime resident of Massachusetts, I think of this region and I think of community, connection. Maybe it's the beauty. I think beauty can be inspiring.
3 words I would use to describe this region are warm,
supportive,
kind, interesting,
and fun.
welcoming,
family-friendly. The diversity of the seasons, the diversity of the people.
So much vibrancy, so much arts and culture.
Loving,
historical.
Legends built it. The next generation is elevating it. The most dominant team in disc golf history just got deeper. World champions, record breakers, the future of the game, united under one banner. This isn't just competition, it's a legacy in motion. This is the next chapter. Discraft, built for flight.
We're on the tee of 12.
Just a very flippy driver, probably the same one he went with on 11. He's going hyzer with a ton of height and still able to turn it and run it up the hill. Big distance from Gannon Burr.
Sullivan tipped it on the tee of 14. Still go forehand here? Is that the guess? No? Okay.
Well, you saw the backhand on the previous hole that was a really early release. Definitely forehand specialist here for Tipton, but he does have a good backhand. This is way right.
He's got to hope it finds the backside.
It might.
I think it's going to get a... Oh, it doesn't. I thought he was going to find inbounds back there. And OB for Tipton.
That's a big error.
Calvin a little bit too understable, just like Sullivan, but no lake waiting for him over there. 14 is just a bad time to have a disc flip over on you that you weren't expecting.
Anything out in that open is a great shot there for Smith.
This is overturned by Macbeth.
I think
we have to notice this wind that we did not see in the early part of the round, and now the wind is definitely a factor. Such a scary looking shot here, and he hits the top of the wall out of bounds again for Tipton. He will go to drop zone number 2.
Wow, I thought that was going to make it.
It looks so good. I thought, yeah, just a little more swing is all it needed, or height. Relatively flat day thus far for Isaac Robinson.
Just think, Gannon is about 80, maybe 100 ahead of them.
Yeah.
What a smash.
It's just going to depend on how much angle he's got left. Is he too far upright, or can he kind of see the gap? I think he probably can manufacture something.
Yeah. Got to avoid a left kick. I saw a double kick, so he'll be inbounds. Anything going left, kicking left. There is an OB line out there. So same problem in store here for Macbeth as well as the others. You cannot see the basket. You have to. Speed control so tough on the second half of 12 as it goes downhill severely.
Yeah, I think with this shot, oh, this is getting really high. You're kind of like daring yourself to get it past the basket. I mean, just throw it down there and ping pong around, and if you can get anything down into circle 2, you got to feel pretty good about it.
This is one of them days for the caddies, right? Now you got to carry all the stuff.
Yeah, now it's like, actually, I don't need my umbrella.
And I got all these wet towels.
Yeah, thank you to the caddies.
Oh, man, absolutely.
It's not an easy job.
Calvin a little bit higher on the hill from where Macbeth was, so slightly better angle. If you can kind of chop it down and just let it twist back to flat. He's just going to go pure hyzer.
I just don't see how there's really any gaps available at that kind of height, because now you're up in the branches of all the trees.
And that's why I like Sexton, I think what you were explaining. That little bit of chop, it kind of works left and has a better chance of kind of twisting down there.
That's how I think I would try to play it.
And I would trust you, that forehand. Speed control does become a little bit more challenging with the backhand, as it could just if you clean, it can just keep going.
Yep. Still had to put quite a bit of speed on this. And yeah, that's going to be a little long.
And that we see that from the backhand a lot, because as it starts to twist back flat, it just there's nothing to slow it down.
But it's not the type of mistake that's going to frustrate you that much. You're going to be happy you hit the gap. You're going to be happy you have an opportunity at a birdie look. Obviously, parked always better, though.
And I would say the other two, Calvin and Paul, would probably take Isaac's shot.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have, I don't think they have any kind of birdie look from where they are.
Pressure putt upcoming for Simon.
Yeah, so Gannon's actually much farther left than I thought. Came swinging back down the hill a bit. You can see all these relatively new plantings, as if the hole wasn't hard enough. And this is nicely done from Burr.
Yeah, just the edge of circle, downhill putt. So this is what you get drop zone number 2. It's a death putt.
Sullivan tipped in, able to convert though to stop the bleeding. Hole 14 beating him up here in round 1.
So that putts for a double.
Took a single bogey back on 9 now. Evan Smith. Hamels picks up a birdie on the 14th.
Wow. Still so much to get through for Heimberg.
Yeah, now one of those 35-foot downhill putts with the slope behind for par. Stressful putt. Again, just like I said for Simon, upcoming for Calvin.
You have to be kind of halfway
Casey White, I believe, throwing his approach. Throwing his second. He's still quite a ways back.
Was that Casey? I don't think that was
No,
Casey.
maybe
That was
not.
Mason Ford.
Nicely done. What a save from Simon.
And crazy, right, for us, even me. That's your last good chance at birdie because of how difficult 17 is, and 18's playing ridiculously hard today.
Yeah.
So normally you think, oh, 17, I get that last birdie before heading up to 18, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, just to try if you can avoid a bogey.
Exactly.
Should bring some added drama come Sunday. No lead, or maybe not. It isn't that no lead is safe, but a two-stroke lead is precarious, even more than it already was.
Heimberg's miss is normally low, but that one off the top.
It's a weird thing when you watch Isaac Robinson not putt well, because he's still been playing really well from tee to green, but he has no circle 2 makes. He even has an inside C1X miss. That's been what's holding Isaac up today.
This is Bird to get into that second place tie.
Whoa, and it scooted.
Yeah, quite the reaction off the basket.
Did it get up and over, or is it down in the pit?
Well, it's
Wow.
outside of the circle at minimum.
Okay, this is going to show it.
Yeah. Let's see where it bounces off to.
What is that?
It
And
gets the
rolls.
bounce and the roll.
So he stays in the pit. He didn't get up and over the next rise. So, yeah, edge of circle.
No problem with the comebacker.
So Macbeth up, hit did upshot to this point and able to make his par.
With that, he'll stay at 3 under.
Maple Hill, as advertised, really not a lot of players in our feature groups that are in a good position to play on the lead card. That's a rare thing in disc golf. Here's Casey White.
This is his third throw, and he gets it in. Very nice. It's going to be a good round for White. I was mentioning it earlier. He's had a solid season, still inside the Tour Championship, but no real high finishes for Casey. Been pretty consistent this season. He'd like to get a good one before heading down to Rock Hill for the final major of the year.
It's a 6 under effort for Casey White, and as you pointed out earlier, a double bogey on the 6th and a bogey on the 12th.
And I would say from 13 to 18, he played perfect.
Yeah, that is a really good close.
I doubt very many people, if any, have that.
And I think you got to be happy for him as a local guy, you know, crowd favorite. I think if you asked Casey White, would you rather win the Maple Hill or the World Championships, he would at least think about it longer than almost anybody else. I think he would ultimately, hopefully, still pick the World Championship, but I know this tournament means the world to him. Looking at 13, par 3 in the short position that we have not seen until this year, going straight downhill 382. I think the biggest challenge here is where are you going to get the disc to hit the ground? I think right next to this tree with a flat putter, right on this last lip before it really comes down, try to hop onto that access road. That's going to give you a great opportunity to get parked. If you fly it past the basket, there's nowhere to stop until you get all the way down to that ditch that's about 40 long. You can see the weekend position as well in the background, probably a good 60 to 70 feet longer.
Hit low left and then roll.
Yeah,
like
we should say
as a hyzer.
The traditional pin is that
Is the
weekend
long
one you
one,
mentioned.
yep.
Yeah. So first time we've ever seen this hole short. We will see it back in the traditional long for Saturday and Sunday. And look, I like this. I like this. If you're going to have different pin positions for the weekend, I like bringing this short, a little bit more action on this hole. And I like that speed control is so critical.
Oh, no, this is my bad. I'm on the wrong.
And now you can certainly see the wind. This is the traditional wind we see at the top of the hill. We're at the highest point of the course. Slight little headwind, becoming a little bit less slight.
Yeah. Playing with wind and playing with speed control are two things that are very difficult to do at the same time. Because your antidote to a little wind is like more overstability. Throw it a little harder. Cut through it. But I don't know that that play is going to pay dividends on this location.
Yeah, 382 plays about 300.
Yeah. Keeps on sliding.
Keep going. Yeah,
it's probably going to be 40-footer.
What? Really?
At least the distance that we saw Marweed make from.
Just go back.
Flips up and stays straight, and it'll go all the way down to pin high.
Probably a good tree. Looked like it had plenty of speed.
For as bad as I feel like the throw is, he's going to get a much better result than he probably deserved.
Lots of height here. Is this going to slow down?
Track And again, a good tree.
Whoa, a really good tree.
Yeah, that went backwards from where it initially hit the ground, it looked like.
It did. It kicked back up the hill. Isaac had hit the line there, but the speed control wasn't there. Just getting a little fortunate there at the end.
Not sure if you guys saw our OTB shot of the day earlier today as we're watching Heimrichs flip up and tail off to the right, needs some help. We watched Kat Murch and Ella Hansen both come on down all the way to the basket, hit the tree right next to the pin. Both of them kicked to the pin, and eventually they were on top of each other's disc.
I saw it.
Two identical shots, same tree, same spot, same result.
Tee shot 17, Simon Lazat. I don't think this has got enough to get out and over the Christmas trees.
I don't think you're trying to get over them. I think there's that big prominent one you can see dead straight away. If you're aiming towards that and just falling off right, you're doing okay. This is rough. Early kick is rough on the new 17th.
Yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. You can see the old tee, you had a gap kind of to hit, but now we've been moved back so much. You have a really small area here, and then now you're kind of where the tee used to be. I think you're right in that a good shot is probably out into this sunlight on the right side. A truly great shot is going to get all the way over all the Christmas trees, but you're talking about 450 through a gap, moving right, not an easy thing to do. And then this has always been a tricky approach unless you really nail the drive. You got to go back. We're not playing that basket. We got to go back into this little slot, and then it goes over a hill and back down to the elevated pin. There's even some out of bounds up here to deal with on that left side, and a nice drop off behind the basket. I guess we aren't elevated tall this year, but it plays elevated, especially if you go long.
Yeah. And you know, looking at that, you could have been watching a flyover of a par 5.
Yeah.
But this is a par 4. And I think when you look at the way the Christmas trees are cut, it's softer on the right, but the right is the worst angle heading to the green. So you have to try to find that soft spot on the right and then throw a really tricky turnover to get all the way back to the basket. Not surprised to see just one birdie and it being from 60. Calvin just laying it up. So here's Simon. So he did find this softer right side, but look at the angle he's going to have to throw here. That's way right.
Yeah, he's challenging branches all the way through.
I think he would take that kick. It kind of stayed on the edge.
Surprised to see the miss in that spot for Burr. Not necessarily confident, but it finds the bottom of the basket anyway. Macbeth collects the birdie.
Macbeth just up and over the front rim. Just enough for Paul. That's all you need.
Heimberg in for the par.
Like, that's the tree that Isaac hit. and it came back the other direction with all that momentum down the hill. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Let's head to the 14th. Certainly one of the most beautiful holes in all of disc golf.
Yeah, not only a signature hole at this property, but I would say just a signature hole of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. just like something out of a dream, that you're up here on the hill. You got to throw, hopefully maybe not through too many raindrops anymore, but you got to go driver. Hit it hard, flat, high. Make sure you get over that retaining wall. The way the hole plays, if you get inbounds at any point and end up out of bounds, or if you hit that retaining wall and they have a spotter whose job it is to make that determination, that would mean you could go directly to drop zone 2, which is that putt. If you're straight out of bounds into the water, you never come anywhere near inbounds, that's when you have to go to the FPOT. That's how you bring in that double bogey or worse that we saw from Sullivan.
Use code MVP 2025. You can get some of your favorite MVP Halloween releases all at the lowest possible price. Free shipping this weekend with that code MVP 2025.
Too high, too safe. And a good tree. Going to give him an opportunity to do something dangerous.
He will certainly be going for that putt. He's at that point, had he slipped down that hill, probably lay it up. But up top, going to go for it. But yeah, do something dangerous. I like that.
Yeah. So if you miss the tree, your par is sealed. But if you hit the tree, you have to go after something that could potentially be worse or could be a highlight birdie. Just a bit of drift on this. Does it keep its height? I don't know.
That wind ain't helping, man. The wind is back into their face, and that is no good for Isaac. He'll head to that drop zone down there at the FPOT pad. We saw Sullivan Tipton throw it earlier.
I think you don't want to see that right movement with this crosswind sort of direction. You saw Isaac got over the top of it, as he does like to do, but that little bit of right movement pulled all the height out of the shot.
Yeah, so wind coming across the fairway this way. Okay, so any of that dip like you're talking, the wind is just going to slam it down.
Yes.
So you have to commit pretty hyzery over the water if you want to park it.
This looks nice and overstable.
So the difference there, significantly more overstable disc, played much higher as well. So even if there was even a tiny drop, didn't affect his safety.
Now the man from Safety Harbor, Florida, Kevin Heimberg. It's wide.
Yeah, this looks like it's turned.
That Sullivan Tipton zone over there. Check the flag. Green.
Green flag for Heimberg.
Power lets you get away with a couple things. Calvin with that high arm speed, able to clear the lake.
Power as well as a little bit of luck. Because we heard Tipton hit solid.
Yep.
OB, Calvin got through. Boy, just that basket not being elevated changes a lot, doesn't it?
Antila on the 15th. This is for birdie. Slow day thus far, but he'll get that one.
Tough course, though. You know, more than almost any that we play out here, you got to remember, you know, this is scoring essentially like Northwood Black.
Yep.
In terms of 3 under, you're not done. Most places we play, you're in big trouble. Wow. Ellis with a beautiful turnover. Into the green on 18. That is a tough position to go after it from.
Yeah, just to have the gumption from inside right off the tee to go for the green is insane. And it all worked out in the long run.
Not many seats better in the game of disc golf than on those bleachers right there. Watching the best players in the world come in.
Cole Redolin, who's at 7 under, and guys, he added to the birdie club on 17. As that one's going to get on the green, trying to close out. But Radalin did pick up the birdie on 17 with a 29-footer. That's how he got to 7 under.
Man, he's really got to make that putt right there just to solidify his round and not give one back after the killer birdie on 17.
Still a good round for sure, maybe even a great round. But he's going to have a bad taste in his mouth after that one.
Yes. And as we look at Calvin, maybe not so sure here.
It's out of bounds. He's saying it hit and rolled down.
So that's the difference between drop zones. Because Calvin is deemed to have crossed at one point, I believe he will end up at the putting drop zone.
Well, let me read the rules here. Yeah, it's a cross safe situation. So he will proceed to drop zone 2
which is the
because he
50
crossed
footer.
inbounds. Yep,
Yes.
that's exactly how the rules read. So well done. Good eye by the spotter. Critical to have a really good spotter there on that hole.
Macbeth for birdie. And Macbeth doesn't capitalize. I believe Brian informed us earlier today that we actually have officials as the spotters on 5 and 14 here as Isaac goes out and over.
And the reason that Isaac putted from there is because he hit the wall even after skipping in the water 3 times. So he could have easily been at drop zone 1.
Heimberg buries it though. He'll save the par.
Yeah, what a save.
Man, this one hole for Isaac's just going to, you know, it's a blow up. Double OB.
Burr for a birdie.
And this could get up and roll. It's a matter of where, and it checks up due to those varied posts that are still there. In previous years, going back a couple of years ago, that would have for sure rolled into the water. And then obviously they addressed it by adding some of these posts in the last few years.
We've got quite a few low putts in a row from Burr. 12, 13, and 14. That one. Getting back to what you had said, Terry, I think it's kind of becoming standard practice on the Pro Tour and at the majors to have the tournament official spotters on some of those most critical calls to where it's out of the player's hands. No arguing allowed. The call is made by the official, and that's how you play it. And I really like that as opposed to trying to argue about something that happened 450 feet away from you. Did this happen? Is this, you know, are you guys getting one over on me? Emotions run high. I think a great solution there when we have enough qualified staff.
Wysocki hits but stays in the fairway over on the 16th. Lizotte teeing on 18.
Man, I'm just thinking about Radalin. A chance to play on the lead card tomorrow. Remember, he was lead card guy last couple of rounds at, you know, the GMC.
Picked up right where he left off.
It would be impressive if he was able to. And he does have the lowest PDGA number of all the 6 unders.
Oh, you love his odds, I think, the way things are shaping up.
Yeah, his PDGA number is pretty low, 79,000. Goes to show you, get your kid a PDGA number early. Do him a favor in a tournament maybe 25 years from now. Simon is going aggressive here. It was an aggressive tee shot. He's got all the angle. This is a beautiful angle, but a lot of distance back up the hill. I like to call this a 50-50 shot, even for the best players in the world, even in good conditions.
A little bit of flex.
Sit down. And it is safe.
You don't see many discs work their way all the way back there.
It's a gutsy shot, too. He went with the flex. If really the flex is the only way you get that far in the back of the
I would think
green
so,
there.
yeah. Ricky's battling back after those struggles we saw from him mid-round.
And Antala
Your flash is on.
able to connect from 30 feet, so Antala will move to 3 under, and that's exactly where Ricky Wysocki is. So both of them sitting just outside of the top 10. Macbeth on the tee of 15. This is pushing left, but if it stays clear, he's going to have a putt for birdie, and he's done just that.
I'll say, too, for those guys, Nicky, Antala, and Ricky Wysocki, they would take Clubhouse at 3 under right now. 100%. Just sitting outside the top 10. It's been a rainy day. They've had some mistakes, but with the challenge of these last 2 holes, you would walk to round 2 at 3 under and just take it.
Yeah.
Gannon going with that flex shot. We've seen him do that in the past. Still short of the basket. This is 322 dead straight, and it progressively gets tighter as you get closer to the basket.
Low and not pure for Isaac Robinson.
I just think, man, you would take par for the weekend on this hole all day long.
I mean, all you have to think about, it's 726 foot par 4. Make that flat ground with 1 tree and no out of bounds. Tons of guys are going to make birdies, but not all. You know, like ignoring the fact that it's a gap into a treacherous landing zone, into a hard right hook, another gap, scary green. Just the distance is sufficient.
Boy, he smoked that one. That's way out there for Rick. I agree. I agree with you. But also with the idea, we'll get back to that in a moment. Let's focus on Simon here up on the green of 18. A little distraction there for Simon.
6 under for Simon Lizotte. Closes out with the birdie.
And this is why I was talking about Cole having that good PDGA number, because you could still see a couple guys get to 6.
Yes.
And maybe bounce them off. And boy, what a putt by Isaac.
Oh, man. 100-footer nearly.
Yeah, I think we're going throwing route.
It looked,
I mean, he putted it, but outside circle 2.
It looked big to me.
Look at it. Look at it just catch. Oh, not by much.
Gannon, not really phased much by it.
So let's check the putt here from behind. Again, the last 3 for birdie have all been low.
Back to doing what he does best. Making birdies, making putts from range.
Both Beth and Burr having that chance to get to 6 or better. We'll take Macbeth to 5. Gannon moves to 6.
Antela lining up the forehand for a second shot on 17.
This is brutal.
And statistically, this takes par out of play. Statistically, right? It's not impossible, but we've only seen 2 players birdie the hole from a perfect tee shot.
Yeah.
If he can even get to a perfect tee shot spot, would be great. And then only 2 people have gotten up and down. So you got to do your best here to just find some clear ground and potentially just play the hole for bogey.
You can't do much better. I mean, really well done. Hitting the gap with some power, working it right, but not too much right. Going to give him as much opportunity as you could expect.
Beth asking for it to flip and it doesn't stay clean. Not a terrible reaction though. That's always what you're looking at here. Obviously you want the pure shot down the fairway, but as soon as you hit a tree and it goes anywhere, you can bring out of bounds into play and you start getting nervous. So all things considered, not too bad.
It's just such a diabolical hole because to really get the distance all the way back to the pin, you got to work off the left side, pushing to the center. But if you're left going left, that's when the OB comes into play. But Gannon just barely missing.
Oh, wow.
Gigantic skip. Just beyond the pin.
I think you hit it. You think so? I think so.
Yeah, they don't have much choice with that left side OB because there kind of is a marshy pond area over there. It kind of has to be out of bounds, but it's always felt like a double penalty to me. If you do find your way to that left side, you would think, yeah, kind of bad enough already, but the penalty to boot, best avoided by our players if they can help it.
That does kick to the right, and I'll go as far as saying the iteration of this course from 15 years ago looked very different. We used to be throwing from the other side of that pond, and then I think it was deemed at one point that that's not actually owned property in the first place. So,
yeah, some survey from 1721 decided that the corner of the pond was another family's, but
wow.
Yeah, that got all the way through. Wow, and even better than all the way through. Bullseye edge.
I don't think that's the line he's looking for, but it's the result he's looking for, that's for sure.
Ice cream on Cal.
I like it.
That's all you need to know.
I like it. Yeah, the year that I won, we actually did throw over that pond. So.
You saying you're from 1721?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. So there you go. Gannon just missing that big tree and the power skip forward. Either way, it was a great shot. Just probably would have been about the same distance on the front side of the pin as it was the back side without the skip. Oh, he is right.
Wow, yeah, shorter than I thought. So I think that bogey is looking really good right about now, and we got to hope that that got enough forward carry.
Yeah, I don't know.
To access the fairway.
It just feels like you got to get up and around that little corner. That's Ricky. Oh, and it takes a bad. He took a good power skip, but just hit that wall and stopped. So he's in that danger zone of like 60 feet down the hill.
Beautiful place to be out here on the course. You got to thank our friends over at LL Bean who encourage you to be outside and enjoy nature and take it in every possible way. LLB, be an outsider. Let's sit back and enjoy it.
Oh, come on, hurry. Hurry, hurry. There we go.
Great drive from Tipton on 18. Shot 2, heading for the green. Just short, and I would say no cross. So he may be near the drop zone either way in terms of last place inbounds, but
just think though, he was so close to the lead. He's going to potentially end up over par for the round. That's how tough this course can be in just a blink of an eye, and Antala dealing with that right now as well.
And a surprisingly poor bid from Robinson. To see him miss by that much on an open putt from circle 2 is just shocking to see. You don't expect that from him.
We talked about it earlier. It's been the putting that has been the issue today for Isaac.
Burr becomes a co-leader. He gets to the 7 under along with Nathan Queen. Now it's a matter of can he hold on to it for the final 2 holes. Macbeth will get to 6 under.
And that's the situation that bumps Redolin off of the lead card. That being said, Cole has already played 17 and 18, so it's not guaranteed that you can shoot even par for those 2 holes.
And I apologize, Macbeth actually pars to stay at 5, but
okay.
Gannon Burr,
Thank you.
yes, Gannon Burr, however, doing, well, what number 1 rated players in the world do, charging here in round 1.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at PowerDGA.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Dodge. Welcome to the first permanent disc golf installation put out by Zuka. I'm standing on the Zuka deck at Maple Hill. 10 years ago, Zuka came on board as the first major partner of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And that partnership continues today, right here at Maple Hill. Come enjoy the Zuka deck at Maple Hill, one of the best places on earth to watch disc golf.
Hamas, after getting birdie on 17, sets himself up for a birdie finish on the 18th. Are you kidding me? Look at the finish.
Wow.
4 under in the last 5 holes. Hamas, previous champion here at the MVP Open, putting on a late charge in round 1. What are the odds of someone going birdie to finish? He's the only one in the field to do so.
Yeah, I was going to say 1 in what, 85?
Yeah, 72, maybe
72,
something like that.
Yeah. But man, yeah, Ansela, he'll take the bogey.
The double,
The double, in fact, yep. So back to what I was saying, 17, you would take par. You know, all turn. So the tee shot, you gotta pick a disc that just gets you through the gap. I just think they're getting, and I'm not surprised, they're getting crazy aggressive.
Yeah, is it the logic of, well, I'm going to throw it as hard as I can, and if I hit the gap, then at least I'm going to get something out of it, right?
Yeah,
like,
but that's the wrong mentality on a hole like this. The goal is to throw 300 feet. If you can throw 300 feet straight through this gap, you're going to most likely par this hole. Now, if you crush it through there 450, there's still no guarantee of birdie. And that's why I know by playing the shorter shot off the tee, you take birdie out of play. But you can hopefully take the big bogey out of play or double like we just saw from Ansela. It'll be interesting to see it play out over the weekend.
Yeah.
Especially come Sunday, man.
I'm glad we get 4 days of it.
Yep.
No pin moves. We can just see how the guys adjust. And this is moving left.
But I like that from Paul. That was a very controlled shot. Shorter than what we've seen from any of the other guys that have really blasted it up there.
Yeah, certainly not an aggressive speed.
Yep. Focused on getting the gap versus the distance. Yeah, it was really interesting talking to Steve Dodge this morning. He's telling me, look, man, come Sunday, we don't want this to just be an easy par finish for the guy who's leading. We want that challenge to come up, and I think they've done a really exceptional job considering how tough even a par is going to be on 17.
Waisaki, who told us he didn't play any practice rounds leading into the tournament. Obviously with that ankle injury, and that's going to be a good kick out. The question is he aggressive? Does he go after it with his second shot?
Knowing Paul, I think he will. Or excuse me, Rick, I think he will. Gannon looking at a high gap here, just trying to get back out into the grassy landing zone out there.
And this angle and shot's going to be even worse.
Double is more likely.
Yeah, I mean, how much is he even going to be able to progress out of there?
Yeah.
Wow, and he hit something small. He hit something small, but he hit it solid, and that just kicked straight right.
If Gannon goes 2 up in the next 2 holes as a total, he will be off of lead card.
Exactly.
Certainly huge implications.
That brings White back into play for playing on lead card tomorrow. And Ricky, what a terrible kick.
How does that happen?
The argument could be made he brought the tree into play, but it's just like,
but the chances of that
big
ending
of a
up,
kick.
yeah, you hit the tree, you likely fall safe.
Exactly.
This feels worse than the last shot he had.
It has to be.
He may not get out. He's found a line and he's out now.
But so
That
far
is
back.
Throwing his 4th.
And a terrible lie. Downhill sloping. You know, like
Yeah,
the run-up's
he's not-
going to be difficult.
He's not getting up and down from there.
No. And if he tries, he could bring that OB line into play like you just talked about.
We've been talking about the man, the local Casey White. He catches up with Tom Rapp after his round. Take it away.
Joining us now in the clubhouse, Casey White. Casey, 6 under today. Tell us about the round.
Man, brutal conditions, honestly. It's like not really that heavy a rain, but just constant drizzle. It's been over 24 hours of that. And I took the day off yesterday, and I think that it speaks to I was ready to have a long, hard fought battle today on the course. And, you know, as much as I would have loved to have been at Polar Park yesterday, the tournament's more important to me.
Being a local, what does it mean to be playing in front of the hometown fans?
I dream about it every night. I think about it every single day that we get closer to the MVP Open. I mean, I've been playing Maple Hill since I was 15 years old. I have the most logged rounds on UDisc at Maple Hill of any other course. Yeah, there's really nothing to say about it other than there's no feeling other than playing in front of the hometown crowd at Maple Hill.
Hole 17 took a par from C2. Talk us through how you played that hole and what do you think of the new layout?
I actually really do like it. I hated having a hole coming down the stretch that it felt like a horrible par. So now par feels good. And the tighter gap, longer tee, all I'm trying to do is get out in the open. I turned it a little early, just dribbled into the middle, and then basically chipped a hyzer and threw a forehand into the green. I heard it smack something hard. I think I either hit the rock wall or the tree and made like a 33.5 inch putt, or 33 foot and 1/2 inch C2 putt. So nothing crazy there.
All right, and right now it looks like you might be on lead card. What would it mean to play on lead card in front of everyone here?
Honestly, Maple Hill makes me feel like I'm on lead card every single time I'm on the course. There's no card that makes me feel like I'm a lesser. I always feel like I'm the king out here, and the crowd makes me feel that way. Fires me up, reassures me even when I miss a putt or something like that. Tell me they love me, and that would be a really cool thing, but definitely not that important.
All right, well, that's Casey White with a 6 under. We'll see him tomorrow.
Thank you.
Looking at the scorecard of White, 9 deuces. Did not make a birdie on anything over a par 3, but what a performance on the par 3s today. Parked for Antila.
Yeah, that's stepping up right there after the disaster on 17. Look, man, this is a long shot back up the hill. You have to wrap that corner tree that we see so many players hitting. Use all the height available to him, just bringing these branches into play a little bit.
The birdie by Antila will get him to 2 under. And we'll see him move up into somewhere around a tie for 19th, roughly.
So that's where we find Macbeth after what we thought of as a little bit more measured drive.
Yeah, I think you would take that all every day.
Yeah, we'll have to see. He had to go with a pretty aggressive Anheuser forehand.
I heard a couple of fans giving him a little adulation, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
This is birdie position right here, I would think. This is an opportunity. Man, it is so far back around that corner. I liked what I saw there, and I still don't think he's going to be in the circle.
The forehand is so tough to pipe all the way back there. You have to bring that left OB line into play.
Yeah.
Right? You kind of have to be going towards it and then breaking right at it.
And I think that OB line was less important in years past because you could get so much more on the drive. Now look at this. This is pushing towards the out of bounds.
I think if you get over that rock wall, you're good.
I think he flew over an out of bounds area.
Yeah, he did. He did. Once you get over that rock wall, you're
wow.
safe. So the OB line comes down, hits that rock wall, and goes hard left.
So it's a birdie look.
Yeah, so he is deep of the pin in 2, which not many players could ever say here in the few times we've seen this played.
And got very lucky to get there because he could have hit any one of 6 trees.
Where those spectators are standing, that's an out of bounds area. But what I was saying is that line comes so much more into play because guys are having to take faster discs into the green. They're so much farther back. If you want to get aggressive and play for a birdie, that OB line is going to loom a little bit larger than it has in the past, in my opinion.
It's interesting. The map doesn't necessarily show what we just talked about.
I think he flew the corner, but that top corner is maybe a little shallower from the pin
than it is
than
actually
it looks
indicated.
on the map.
Yeah. Gannon's going to have to lay up for double.
Just taking another look. As you were saying, Sexton, if this hits the tree, you usually see it fall to the ground. Sometimes that can be a blessing in terms of taking it easy, playing for the par. It's almost regulating you, right? If you hit that tree just wrong. But the fact that it then kicked is crazy.
Okay, so he is out of bounds.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. The crowd just maybe not knowing exactly what the situation was.
Yeah, I thought we saw him come back over a line on the backside. Clearly not.
But that tells us what we need to know. If you're back left, you're just OB over there. Wait, now are they looking at it? I didn't know if Gannon was maybe wondering, but.
The double bogey by Gannon. They said knocks him off lead card. Potentially even puts him possibly on the 3rd card, depending on how a few of these final shots work out.
And I mean, at this point, Nathan Queen's the leader.
Yep.
Yes, sir. For Barella.
The only thing that we could see happening is Macbeth and or Burr popping, up.
Line in for the par.
But Nathan Queen will play tomorrow as the leader.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Pretty rough day for our 5 through 8 players coming into this weekend's event.
Yeah, definitely for Barella and Klein, both over par. Look, Ricky and Niklas, 2 under. You're not out of the tournament, but you need to do some good work tomorrow. I keep wanting to say Ricky and Nikki, but I'm trying to avoid it, fans. I'm telling you.
Macbeth is
That's
out, but
danger
it's
zone.
pinched right,
Yeah.
closes off the angle. So then now you're looking at your shot to stay over the inbounds, then it's almost like 90 degrees to the pin. So you're working with a thin little area.
Remember, we saw Ellis from that area get inbounds with a backhand? The odds of that is low. Like I was saying, from Simon, it's 50-50, and he was in the perfect spot off the tee.
Yeah.
From over there, it's like 90-10, 90 being the OB.
The backhand, almost you could almost see it as having a bit of an advantage from over there because you could swing it wide and use the glide to actually be moving laterally late
Which
in
is
the
what
flight.
Ellis did.
Yes, but with the forehand, there's still going to be a good bit of forward motion. You're not going to be able to move it directly right and put the brakes on it the same way that a backhand potentially could.
Huge shank.
Whoa.
He yanked that so far right.
I'm not sure I've seen anybody go OB there.
I'm not. He might be trying to throw that hard flex through the right side gap, but just completely pulled it, and it never had any flex back in it.
We're out in the open. And Brian Earhart was able to catch up with Simon Lizotte after his round. Here's what he had to say.
Simon Lizotte joins me here at Maple Hill after round 1 of the MVP Open. 6 under par effort, rain all day. After all things considered, how did it feel?
It felt surprisingly smooth and good. I was shockingly comfortable. I felt, especially on the front 9, a sense of control that I was completely lacking in Vermont like last week. And it's bizarre because I didn't get a single practice round earlier this week, but of course I live pretty close, so I know the track.
You say when you come out here that you don't play the golds too often when you actually come practice here. How familiar are you with these holes? Do you feel like you have a local advantage out here?
I mean, on most holes, yes, the ones that haven't changed much. Hole 1, the new pin placement, for example, I have not played once yet, so I'm looking forward to that one. And the most recent changes, the new 13, the short one today was my first shot on that as well. And the new 10, I played maybe once or twice when it was brand new. But other than that, I think my biggest home advantage is that I get to sleep in my own bed, have my family here, and just feel more comfortable.
Well, the season's wrapping up. Quick reflection up to this point. How has this year felt for you?
Mega grind. There were definitely some highs performance-wise on the course. There were a handful of lows. A lot of average. So a lot of between 8th and 20th place where I'm just averaging 1035, 1040 golf, exactly kind of my slot where I'm averaging right now. So that felt a bit stale, especially down the stretch now. I just wanted to do more fun content, make it look exciting and fun, and when you're not really doing anything exciting on the course or really thriving, it's really tough. So it was a grind. It was really a grind, but almost done.
Well, great round today, Simon. We'll see you out there more likely on the lead card.
Sweet. Thank you.
And we just saw the shot by Macbeth out of bounds.
All the same problems for Gannon and this little tree right in front of him. Look, man, these guys are ultra aggressive. and they want this final birdie. I'm just not sure it's totally worth it from this side.
I think the same. I think a par would be a nice score here. Let's see if he can find his way onto the green.
He's going to try to go with like a massive spike. Look at how this tree is right in front of him.
He's close to thinking about a different option.
Come on.
Wow. There's no such thing as bad position when you're Gannon Burr.
I'll say shot of the day. Seriously. With that little tree right in front of him, he ended up actually going right of it. His initial lineups looked like he was going to go right over it, but he'd go right of it, and he's just parked.
And this is big power for standing still.
Yeah. Wow. And not to say that the shot Ellis that threw earlier wasn't the shot of the day as well. It's just what that meant for Gannon. That's a birdie to get onto the lead card.
You have like height too, so it got around the corner. Yeah, dude, I wasn't thinking running up. I couldn't see my dude at all.
That birdie will bump Casey White off of the lead card.
Come on.
But Radalin will, or excuse me, yeah, I got that right. Radalin will stay on the lead card. White will be bumped. Calvin's going to end up shooting over par today. NXT bets at 6.5. All them overs. They're taking the juice today.
Robinson will loft it over easily. That'll be a tap-in par coming for Isaac to close out his day.
Right here.
Every year they just seem to move this line back.
Yeah. He could do it. He could do it.
Oh, Macbeth tickles chains. Almost throws it in.
That's why it's so critical to cross the green. Then you get to go to the drop zone. But Paul giving it an incredible run. I mean, just a couple of more revolutions forward. And that is heart of the basket.
Robinson in for the par. Overall par on his round, which is going to feel disappointing today. Bogey for Heimberg. Insane approach by Gannon Burr. Welcome back in. Wow. We're already talking shot of the day. I know that's for our, Tournament Central segment, but other thoughts or reactions after round one. What are you thinking there, Doss?
Today is Nathan Queen's day. in a tournament where he has to either win or get the wild card to play in the Tour Championship. Although, by the way, which he's won before, one of the most unlikely winners, which was incredible. He shot bogey free. Now, he still has a long road to get to a title or even the Tour Championship, but congratulations to Nathan Queen today.
Yeah, we saw him open, well, I should say we opened the day with Nathan Queen closing out his round, and to hold on to it. You made such a great point earlier, Sexton, about how we're usually just kind of sitting back waiting for somebody to beat the score. Wasn't the case. We're going to hear from Gannon Burr as well as Paul Macbeth. We've got our OTB shot of the day. All of that in Tournament Central when we return.
$16 grams of protein, no artificial anything. Siggies. Less sets you free.
The discovery of electricity, the first flight, democracy, splitting the atom, computers, modern medicine, space travel, and of course, the Royal Line from Latitude 64.
No, Dave. Let me buy the pizza. Wow, that holds more plastic than our nutsacks.
What's your wallet?
You're looking at a work of art. No, it's not the Mona Lisa. But this beautiful can costs a lot less and looks magnificent in your bathroom. And Mona Lisa can't give you a smooth, close shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
This winter, make Smuggler's Notch Resort Vermont your home away from home. Smugs is home to 3 big mountains, 78 trails, terrain for all abilities, and 300 inches of average snowfall with top-to-bottom snowmaking. Smugs, your home away from home with daily access to heated pools, hot tubs, tubing, Nordic trails, and endless indoor play at the Fun Zone 2.0. Plus, enjoy a variety of dining and shopping options in the village with weekly activities for the entire family. Visit smugs.com and book your home away from home winter vacation today.
Day one complete at Maple Hill as we welcome you into Tournament Central. But first, we're going to flash back to 2021, the Tour Championship with Nathan Queen.
not only did he win, but he had to work his way through. I believe he was one of the higher seeded players. He had to win every stage of the Tour Championship.
The greatest upset we've seen in playoff history. And look at him. Look at him. With the playoffs come around this year, and where is he? #1 spot. Incredible day. The only player to go bogey free.
Yeah, and 6 down through 8 holes and shot 1 under, for the final 10. So, hey, man, you earned it today.
Well, our leaderboard is also our Innova Hot Rounds leaderboard with Nathan Queen on top, as we said. Lazat, Burr, Radalin, White, Tukinen, and Sakripi all in a tie for second. Take a look at some of the Gannon Burr highlights from today.
Look, through 7 holes, we were going, field, watch out, Gannon Burr, killing it. He was 5 down through 7 holes, ended up shooting just 1 under for the rest of the round.
Yeah, I had the surprising out of bounds on 8, but he was locked in early.
And then it was the 3 low putts later in the round that were all for birdie that he missed. But early on, man, he was just locked. He was dialed in, making shots.
This shot right here made this hole look altogether too easy. Just firing it through on 7, parked.
Right. Oh, so do you question his, for us, do we question his forehand, or was that just so sick? Because the very next hole he shanked it way left.
Yeah.
Either way, he just continued to grind. This was the shot on 16.
Skip forward. Ran into some troubles on the 17th, but we expect everybody to do that. And then on the 18th, going after it from a very awkward position. It didn't matter. He puts himself on the green and taps in. Great bounce back after the struggles on the 17th. Fortunate enough that he's able to catch up with Ryan Earhart after his round. We're going to take a listen after we take a look at his scorecard here.
I would say that last shot on 18, so critical as you play this tournament to have that confidence on 18. Now, of course, that could snake bite you later, but a double birdie finish. Gannon makes the lead card.
All right, with that, we've got Brian in the clubhouse along with Gannon Burr.
Gannon Burr, with the birdie on 18, you bounce back from the double bogey on 17 and put yourself in the lead card just to stroke off the lead. How are you feeling about that 6 in the rain all day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You guys saw it there. I missed so many putts, so many opportunities. Really just, I missed the island, missed 3 pretty short makeable C1s, and missed quite a lot of shallow C2s, and then obviously also had the double bogey. So to be on lead card after all that says a lot. I mean, my tee to green stats are probably pretty high up there, so as long as I can just put the disc in the basket. I've never been a good putter in the rain. It just has never been my thing. I'm such a feel-based guy when it comes to the grip on a putter. I don't really have too much problem throwing because I power grip everything, and it's really, you don't really need to rely on that much friction for that type of a grip. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Obviously, it is good to be on the lead card. We had some tough conditions on the front 9, and I was taking advantage of it. So I think the round felt a lot worse just because of how good my start was. But just going for that shot in 18 took a lot of, but had to go for it to make the lead card, and was able to execute it. It was a really tough shot, standstill with a baby tree right in my way. So that one felt good. Nice cheer from the crowd too. So that was awesome.
Well, the leader, Nathan Queen, is backhand lefty only essentially, and the scores show he birdies 14, one of the hardest lefty holes almost every year. Put yourself in his shoes. What kind of backhand are you trying to line up if you're a lefty on that hole?
Well, it kind of depends how you're feeling. If there's no wind, you might want to try to attack the green. I probably would maybe throw my PD and just throw it really hard to try to get it to move left. And if it happens to, kind of leave my hand early, I might have a 30-footer against that wall. But I'd probably just be playing that one for par. And if I'm trying to birdie it, maybe go my straight FD3 and just play a punching low shot that pushes toward that wall and then maybe skips a little bit back right. But that's, I mean, just incredibly impressive. That's such a high level technical shot for, a lefty, and I'm glad I'm righty on that hole for sure.
Should be a good show tomorrow. Gannon, nice round. We'll see you out there.
Thanks.
I'm glad Gannon completed his sentence there, because he said, "Oh, I'm not normally a good putter in the rain." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" Well, yes, I guess if he's gonna get a pass anywhere, maybe in some of the rainy conditions. And he really echoed what we've all been saying. He had those opportunities, missed 3 of them in circle 1 and then in shallow circle 2. So there's a lot to be said to still be on lead card after what he would probably consider a lackluster performance. Doss, you got any thoughts as to what you heard from him or what you're thinking?
No, I mean, again, an interview is basically one that you or I would do. I mean, he's very self-reflective. He understands his exact situation. He knows 17, that if you get caught up, that can happen. So he's finished 3rd last year, 11th the year before, and 3rd the year before. He wants this tournament, man, and he's on the lead card. We generally just don't see him go backwards.
Yeah, gutsy shot. I mean, that last shot that he knew that it was for the lead card, the fact that he trusts himself enough to miss it and fall not just to the 2nd, but likely all the way to the 3rd card.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of the world he lives in. Play bad, you're still probably hanging on to the end of lead card. Dangerous guy, certainly the favorite.
Yeah, it was crazy to watch him. He did a reset. It seemed as if maybe he was second-guessing himself and wasn't going to go for it, but then ultimately stands and delivers. Someone who's been doing that lately quite a bit is, of course, last week's champion in Paul McBeth. Any initial takeaway or thought of what we saw from McBeth today?
He was trying to grind it out. It certainly wasn't his hottest round, but I think he did himself favors that he stuck around. We talked a little bit about emotions getting away from him potentially when he had some of those tougher spots, especially back on hole 9, but in the end that didn't happen. A little bit unfortunate to miss the green on 18 from a little out of position, but I think it's a solid day for McBeth.
Yeah, classic Maple Hill round. Good things, bad things, and it all seems to boil down to 18. Right? If he gets on that green, boom, he's playing lead card. Yeah. If he misses it, boom, he's on 3rd card and now struggling to, not quite struggling, but he's got to make up some ground. That is so classically Maple Hill, and it's been that way for 15 to 20 years. Just that finish is incredible. So I think for Paul, it wasn't bad. It also wasn't good. He's going to have to just keep playing well if he wants to find himself back up in that lead card.
Well, let's hear what he had to say, because he caught up with Brian after his round.
Paul McBeth joins me now after round 1 at the MVP Open. 4 under par effort puts you on the chase card going into round 2. It was rainy all day. Just paint the picture from your perspective.
I mean, with the rain, I felt like I played pretty well, except for I missed a couple putts I should have made, which just wasn't keeping my chin up like I needed to on the putts, just trying to keep the rain out, and I was hitting them all low. So something simple to fix going into tomorrow. And, I went for 18 knowing that 6 was the number. Just a little too much hyzer and almost sank the par putt. But, 2 off right now. Not
You've been playing this tournament for over a decade. When you get to 18, that second shot almost feels like it hasn't changed too much except for the distance off the tee. Do you have a rule for yourself of when to go for it and when to lay up, or is it always situational?
If I feel like I can hit the back corner of the wall, then I'll go for it. Today, I just had those new little trees on the right, and just made me put a little too much hyzer on. I felt like I put the right power, but the angle was a little off, and it was a little short. Hit, pretty close, but there is some spots I won't be attacking it. Same with 17.
Well, let's talk about 17. Really tight gap, far away from the tee pad, brand new change. How is it playing in competition?
I just don't like the landing area. I think the tee shot, I threw it to a point where I didn't have an opportunity to lay up. I just had to power one up there, try to push as far as I could, and if it would have gotten flat, I probably would have had a putt. But instead, it just kind of ended up a little, it never got to flat, and it kind of just ended right there in the middle of the fairway, just a layup, which 17, 18, if I go par all weekend, I'm fine with that. So.
Paul, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Anything that surprises you from what Paul just said?
No, I don't think so. I'm kind of with him on 17's landing area, feeling a little bit random. I haven't quite seen anybody break it down in a way that to me feels like, oh, trying to play for par, got the smart par, didn't have to press. And sometimes holes are just that hard. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from that hole.
Yeah, I am too. I don't want to judge it too early, obviously. And maybe this isn't the time to talk about it, but Paul's shot was just a little straight. I think he just needs to break that thing a little bit right. I love the speed of the disc that he threw. Break that thing a little bit right. You can see on our flyover the way they've cut that fairway. The right side is definitely where you want to be. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Again, Steve Dodge, his whole team, Charlie, Gage, they all wanted to put some teeth on those final holes, and I think it's a big win for them to hear Macbeth say, I would go par all tournament long on those 2 holes.
Yeah, he'd be happy with that. Well, we'll see who else might be happy at the end of the tournament. That's some wild card competitors who are vying for their spots, and we'll see some of the shifting that is taking place. The last 4 in and wild cards into our Tour Championship. Right now, we're seeing the last 4 include Mason Ford, Eagle McMahon, Andrew Presnell, and Jake Mon. And then the wild cards include Nathan Queen, Nestori Tukkanen, Rasmus
Saukorepi.
Thank you, and Lori Lettinen. So we're going to continue to watch that line throughout the weekend. Obviously, a huge topic of conversation, our last event of the season before we ultimately get to our Tour Championship. And with that, he was running around. There's a ton of things going on out there today, and now he joins us. We're going to bring in Brian Earhart for some final thoughts here on the day. Brian, there's probably an ice cream social taking place. Did the rain, do you feel like it's dampened anyone's spirits out there at Maple Hill? It's one of the greatest places in the world.
I'm damp, all right, Terry. I'm a little damp. It was raining all day long, and there was no lightning. No weather delays. I mean, you guys all know playing disc golf tournaments, those are the funniest days. It gets comical after a certain point. You're just never going to get a break. You're never going to get to go back to shelter. You're just out there dealing with the rain all day, and the players get tired. You see it in their faces. Some players just take their layers off. They take their hats off. AB took his hat off on like hole 5 and was just ready to accept the rain as it is. It was a very interesting day, you know, with the fog shrouding the basket. You couldn't even see it in the FPO this morning, to then today, the harder rain for the MPO division. It was brutal. And some of the scores coming in, these 7s and 6s, are really, really good in this current layout of the course.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you, Brian. Obviously, the bogey-free round by Queen is so impressive. Brian, we were just talking about hole 17. We heard the comments from Paul Macbeth. I want to get your opinion on that hole because you're there on the ground. You've seen some players play it. This is going to be a big topic of conversation as we go through the weekend. What's your initial reaction to day 1 of the brand new 17th?
It's definitely hard. First off, the gap off the tee. It's 7-8 feet wide and about 100 feet off the tee, and that's just straight up a hard gap to hit with power, and you need to get power to get up to the basket because of how far away the second shot is. I think a lot of the chatter amongst the players was landing zone. They just want to see a little bit more forgiving landing zone with how demanding the tee shot is. Heard Gannon Burr talking to some of the staff and giving genuine feedback. I love when players can come off the course and instead of complaining about a hole, they actually give tangible requests and say, hey, this hole is almost really, really solid. Maybe if this was changed or this was changed, it would be excellent. So I think it's almost there, but like you guys said, let's let it break in a little bit and see if some of these players figure something out.
Well, and one thing I'll say, again, talking to Steve Dodge this morning, and I think he was the first person to tell me this, you can't put trees back. Right, he owns a tree farm, a Christmas tree farm. I've actually offered to buy several Christmas trees, and he's always told me no. They decide which ones stay and go. So, look, could it be softened on the left? Sure, but he wants to see it play out.
Yeah, and Brian, my final question to you for the day would be, we just heard about Steve Dodge, but what's the craziest or silliest thing Steve Dodge has told you in the last day or two? Because he's always got stories and he's always got ideas or questions. What's the silliest thing that he's presented to you in the last 48 hours?
Well, on the rainiest day, he's not wearing any sort of protection from the rain. No umbrella, no raincoat. He's got the same sport coat on. And I'm walking up to T1, and it's dumping rain on us. And I got a poncho and an umbrella protecting all of my gear. Steve Dodge is getting pelted by rain. His coat is just so demolished by the water, and just looks at me and says, "Great day we're having," and walks away. And to me, I love that. He is never going to let a single thing get in the way of this event being excellent. And even again, as the rain is falling, he's going to the bleachers on hole 18. He's throwing out table talk pies to the fans. He's getting everybody fired up. He's a really special shining star of a tournament director because of how big he dreams and how much he cares about this event. And people feel it here. I mean, we had people coming all across the country to be here in the rain, and they were having the time of their lives, just being as close as they could to these players. It was a really special day out there.
Well, we say it time and time again. Maple Hill is a very special place. Steve Dodge, a special human. And, well, I heard the word pies. The rest I kind of tuned out. But anyway, Brian, you go get all dried up and ready to go so that we can talk to you tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to Outback Steakhouse. Bloomin' Onion time. Bye. See ya.
Wow, the bloomin' onion.
That's how you dry out, huh?
I guess that's one way to do it. One topic at hand, of course, our OTB only the best shot of the day. I'll lead with you, Sexton. What anything jump out at you?
Man, we saw a lot of good ones. Obviously, the shot from Burr into the green, but that was so recent, so I'm going to try to dig a little deeper. Give me Isaac Robinson with the big old putt on 15.
Yeah,
okay. Yep.
I was thinking, again, I agree, maybe the recency bias with Burr. What about that absolute park job by Yuli on 14 in the heavy rain? Right after Burridge had just put one right up behind the pin, and Yuli goes ahead and gets CTP. I'm going to go with Yuli on 14, but I like the big putt by Isaac, too. That was basically a throw-in.
I like Burr's approach, of course, but I also like Corey Ellis.
Yeah, the Ellis
go
backhand.
Old school with the backhand into the green. They all looked good, but let's take a look. This is our OTB, only the best shot of the day.
This makes a lot of sense. I like to throw curveballs though, highlight some other things, but this was a fantastic shot given the implications. I think it just says so much about how confident he is. You know, to be it to go. I think this is a go from that position. There's not a lot of people that would have made that decision, and he executes it.
And building a little confidence maybe for the next couple of days as they'll be closing out on the 18th. Come Championship Sunday. And that's it for today. We got to thank Brian Earhart along with Tom Rapp, and then of course Nate Doss, Nate Sexton here, myself. I almost got all the words out, guys. We're going to see you tomorrow morning at the MVP Open by OTB. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in Massachusetts.